to start the game as Bryant elected to defer to the second half. So the Bulldogs on their first offensive series of the game. Bryant, a new member of the Big South. Their first year in that conference, transitioning from the Northeast as pre-snap motion here for Bryant. All right, so let's set things up from the top here, Patrick. We mentioned it pregame, a whole lot of new. New is the word for FIU. New athletic director in Scott Carr, of course, new football coach in Mike McIntyre, who was the 2016 Coach of the Year at Colorado. Took the Buffaloes to the Pac-12 championship game, and 48 new players as well. As Bryant set here for a 2nd and 13. Across the middle, complete. We'll get him to about a 3rd and 8 here. So a big transitional year for FIU, but the Panthers hoping it leads to some wins here to start things off in year 1 under Mike McIntyre.
FIU trying to snap that 11-game losing streak, and Mike McIntyre is very experienced with turning around struggling programs. He did it at San Jose State, took the Spartans from 2-10 to 11-2 in 3 years, took Colorado from 1-11 to the Pac-12 title game in 4 years. He can turn around FIU as well.
Zevi Eckhouse, the Bryant quarterback, facing a 3rd and 8 here on the Bulldogs' first drive. Panthers bring 4. Eckhouse scrambles, got the throw off, and that's a first down for the Bulldogs. The shot by arm, the senior from Charlotte, getting a fresh set of downs for Bryant.
Nice play by Eckhouse, evading that pressure, keeping his eyes downfield and finding by arm. In a play that looked like it wasn't going to go well for Bryant, they're able to move the chains. Nice play by the young sophomore QB.
Quite a quarterback competition in this fall camp, even with the success that Eckhouse had last season. We'll certainly delve more into that. Eckhouse will keep it on the ground here. Good chunky yardage on first down for Bryant. We wouldn't be surprised to see Gage Maloney as well here today. Senior from South Carolina who started this season opener last year before going down with an injury in that first game, and all Eckhouse did, his backup, was earn Player of the Year honors and set some records up in Rhode Island.
He had the best freshman season for a quarterback in Bryant history, and he really stepped in and took over that job. But Gage Maloney is still battling and has played really well this offseason and preparing for the year, so we may see him as well tonight, like you mentioned.
On the ground again, by arm, getting close to first down yardage. Will be a 3rd and short here for Bryant, who was 7-4 last year, 5-2 in NEC play. Under 4th-year head coach Chris Merritt, who is very familiar with South Florida. He spent 18 seasons just 3.5 miles down the road as the head coach at Columbus High School. Took him to the 2018 state championship game. He's coached in this stadium many, many times, and it's certainly a homecoming for Chris Merritt this weekend. They're down and short. Pitch play, right side. Good pursuit from FIU, and Donovan Manuel makes the tackle, showing that lateral quickness.
FIU's coaching staff has been really excited about Manuel, the transfer from East Tennessee State, and you see why right there. The recognition, the speed, getting to the outside, and making that stop. Big play by Manuel early in the game.
So it'll be 4th and short. Eckhouse in the gun. As Lathrop motions to the near side. Eckhouse rolling. Flicks it near side. First down and a little bit more for Bryant, who's moving down the field. David Zarilla, first reception for the senior from Massachusetts.
Just a little pick play for Zarilla. He's lined up in the slot. The outside receiver comes inside, gets in the way of his man, creates some traffic, and Zarilla's wide open in the flat.
47 grabs last year for Zarilla. 2 touchdowns, 600-plus yards. Ryan showing something here on this first drive.
This offense averaged 30 points a game last season. They can put it up, and they're showing you why.
Play fake and good pursuit once more from FIU. That time it's C.J. Christian getting in the act for his first tackle.
And this offense, with Javon DeWitt coming in from North Carolina, this FIU defense, coordinating this FIU defense, he's playing a coverage that allows the safeties to come up and help against the run. And you saw that there, C.J. Christian, the safety, being in the box, involved in helping with the run game.
So another 2nd and long here for Bryant. .379 yards per game last season. Eckhouse with all sorts of time to work with. About 15 yards downfield, bobbled and caught.
Nice job by Eckhouse, staying patient. His first read wasn't open. Takes his time, finds his second read right along the sideline, and nice job by Jalen Powell of tapping that foot in bounds to make sure it's a catch, and he moves the chains.
Jalen Powell from Los Angeles, a Utah Tech transfer. And Bryant is in the red zone to start things off on their first possession today. Eckhouse, play fake. Another dump ball pass to his tight end, going for a couple yards. First touch today for Anthony White.
White using his size to break that first tackle and get a couple extra yards, and it's Donovan Manuel there again. He's going to be in on a lot of stops for this FIU defense throughout the year.
5-yard gain on first down. Chris Merritt in his 4th season, as we mentioned, 13-14 thus far, but the best season in his 3 years last year with the 7 wins. Eckhouse will hand off up the middle. Demetrius Hill on the tackle, but it looks like it's first down yardage for Bryant.
And FIU is doing a good job of plugging up the middle of that Bryant offensive line, but the Bulldogs have been able to find some room on the edge, and we've seen the safeties, Hill and Christian, have to step up and make some tackles.
Offensive line getting some good push. This is a Bryant team that has 16 returners, 5 offensive linemen, all back as well. An experienced first unit. Good energy here on this first drive. Eckhouse with time again, surveying. Eckhouse scrambles forward, flicks it back of the end zone, and a flag right after it trickled to the ground. We'll see if this is interference.
Pass is incomplete. Penalty marker down.
Nice play by Eckhouse to extend the play. But then that was a dangerous throw into coverage, and we'll have to check on the flag.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 7. The foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
So that's Demetrius Hill, who just made the tackle a couple of plays ago.
It was Hezekiah Masses that broke up the pass in the back of the end zone. Hill was just in front of him, and he must have grabbed his receiver.
The 1st and goal at the 2 for Bryant. What an opportunity to punch it in early. Byarm in the backfield. He'll take the snap, and it's a touchdown for Bryant on the Bulldogs' first possession of the season. 6-0 Bryant pending the PAT, and what a start in their first game in the state of Florida, first game against FIU, and they haven't had too many FBS matchups as well, getting the job done here early.
Look at 88 on the left of your screen, combining 37 to make a nice block. Taglieri and that tight end and that offensive line for Bryant doing a good job of pushing back the FIU D-line and opening up a huge hole for Byarm.
Ethan Getman on for the PAT, and that's blocked from the side. That was Hezekiah Masses, who got in there with the pass breakup a moment ago. That time the blocked kick, and it'll stay at 6-0. Bryant's off to a good start. Welcome back to FIU Stadium. It's a 6-0 lead for the Bryant Bulldogs and a concerning start for FIU, a 3 and outs, and then Bryant driving right down the field. A confident drive for the Big South team from Rhode Island.
Bryant did a nice job up front. Offensive line was getting a good push, and they did a good job of converting 3rd and 4th downs to keep that drive alive.
Flex Joseph will take this a yard out of the end zone. Angling towards the near sideline, broke the first tackle. Joseph hurdles over another man and gets down to the 44-yard line. There's some signs of life for FIU.
Joseph is a game breaker. He can make a big play at any time to flip the momentum of the game, just like he did there. That can get FIU pumped up. When you felt the air come out of the stadium a little bit after Bryant takes the lead, Flex Joseph says, hey, I got you guys. Here we go.
Fans have very fond memories of the very first play of the 2020 season when he took a kickoff back 100 yards to start the season on the road at Liberty. Didn't get to the end zone there, but sets FIU up in great field position for Gunnar Holmberg, the Duke transfer, on his second drive. Holmberg, quick out route, caught near side. Jackson McDonald's with his first reception of the game.
FIU is going to rotate in a lot of guys at the receiver and tight end positions, and as you see, they're going to go tempo and go really fast, try to line up quick, catch the defense off guard.
2nd and 4. Holmberg facing pressure, tucks it in and gets across midfield, maybe a gain of 1. We'll set up 3rd down here for the Panthers.
That's going to be one of the keys for FIU all season is can they protect Holmberg, give him enough time to go deep down the field with their weapon at wide receiver, Tyrese Chambers.
He's been silver in pursuits on that last play. 3rd down and 3 at the 50. E.J. Wilson, the tailback. Got Tyrese Chambers, single coverage up on that far side. Blitnikoff Award watch list member. FIU record holder. We'll give it off to Wilson, trying to find any sort of space. None available. Jack Daly with the tackle, and Bryant another stop and an early decision for offensive coordinator David Yost here in midfield.
And the big fella Daly, 6'4", 315. Not your typical FCS nose tackle. Look at him, number 1 on the right side of your screen, fighting off a block and getting into the backfield.
FIU quickly into the play. Now we'll look back to the sideline. 6 for 14 last season on 4th down conversions. They'll face a 4th and 3 right here. A quick moving first quarter. Holmberg. Pocket collapsed, has to tuck forward, and I don't think he got to the marker. He may be a half-yard short.
Good awareness by the linebacker Ryan Sadler, knowing where the sticks were, making sure that he keeps Holmberg short.
And Bryant gets the stop. How about this? FIU unsuccessful on their first 2 drives. And will take over possession at midfield.
And that's huge for Bryant. You come in as an FCS team into an FBS stadium, making a long trip. You don't quite know what to expect. You're trying to feel out what kind of team you're going to have this season. A lot of experience on this Bulldog team. And to come in, score on your first drive, and get 2 quick stops on defense certainly puts a lot of confidence into these Bryant Bulldogs.
The early numbers for Eckhouse as well, 6 for 6, 42 yards. He's in a nice rhythm to start off this game.
And we talked about we might see Gage Maloney tonight, but if Eckhouse keeps playing like this, you can't take him off the field.
Not if he's perfect. Play fake on the first play of this drive. Eckhouse wants a deep shot, middle of the field, has a man caught inside the 10-yard line. Bryant on the move once more. It's Anthony Frederick with the reception.
Frederick really emerged last season, makes a nice move on Brian Blades, makes him think he's going to the outside, cuts it back to the post, and a beautiful throw from Eckhouse puts it right on him.
Frederick, a South Florida native out of Miami Central High. His high school teammates with FIU running back Flex Joseph. Byarm trying to lower the shoulder, but pushed back here. He's 2nd and goal.
In the last drive, when Bryant got down here near the goal line, their offensive line really did a nice job of getting a push, opening up some holes. They made it easy on Byarm. Let's see if FIU's D-line can step up here and try to get a stop.
All of a sudden for FIU, some tense moments in the first quarter against Bryant, who's coming with a purpose to start this game. House out of the gun once more. He'll give off again. Byarm trying to get a couple of extra yards, and he's close to the goal line. Down to the 1. Already over 100 yards of offense for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, nice job there by the right side of the O-line. Jamichael Watts, Trevor Smith collapsing the FIU D-line, creating a cutback lane for Byarm, and he's a tough runner. He's not going down with the first hit. He's continuing to fight.
3rd and goal at the 1. Big play here for Bryant early. It's Byarm, chopped immediately to the ground. Donovan Emanuel in the backfield. But if you're Bryant here.
Nice job there by the FIU D-line. Look at the right side. Devon Strickland, Will Prendergast just busting through the line, getting into the backfield. That's the best play we've seen all night so far from the FIU D-line.
Yeah, lost a yard there, but again, still an advantageous position for Bryant on the road. First quarter, seemingly with the Panthers on the ropes. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Eckhouse keeps it, tosses it near side, and it's a touchdown for Bryant once more. A 2-score lead for the Bulldogs, but a flag on the play. And that's going to go against Bryant, and that is a huge call to give FIU a break. That's on Edmond, the tight end.
Number 1. Correction. Number 14. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 4th down.
That's a good call by the officials. You saw it on the left side, the hold, as Edmond got in the end zone. The wide receiver for Bryant, Eugene, grabbed the jersey of the FIU defender and turned him around.
Derek Eugene, a familiar name for some of these FIU players, was here last year as a member of Long Island in the season opener. As whistles blow this dead. That is a costly penalty early for Bryant, who had intentions of taking a 2-score lead. As it is, Ethan Getman out for a 28-yard field goal from the left hash to make it 9-0. In his first year with field goal duties for Bryant. Some early movements. That might be 5 more yards for Bryant here.
Onside. Defense. Number 3 with contact. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
It's on Sean Peterson Jr., the converted running back. He was actually 2nd on the depth chart last season behind Devontae Price. Has made the switch to linebacker, where he was recruited heavily out of high school in a number of Power 5 programs. Getman's field goal is true. And it's a 9-0 lead for Bryant. Great start for the Bulldogs here on the road. Just under 2 minutes to play. Back after this on ESPN3. Under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. It's Bryant with a 9-0 lead over FIU on a steamy Miami night here in South Florida. Glad to have you with us alongside Patrick Murray and A.J. Ricketts. A 5-play, 46-yard drive there that nearly ended up in the end zone once more for Bryant. A holding penalty on the goal line providing some measure of relief for FIU fans, but this scoreline still a bit unexpected here. A 2-possession lead for the Bulldogs as Bryant gets set to kick off. Flex Joseph, E.J. Wilson and Ross Fournier are back to receive. Wilson will take it at the 1. Also has a touchdown return in his FIU career, but taken down at the 20 here. What has Bryant done so well defensively to keep FIU in check? A 3-and-outs and a 4th down stop in midfield.
Well, the Bulldogs are playing really well up front. They have 5 seniors in their rotation on the defensive line. They've been getting a push into the backfield on run plays. They've been getting pressure on Gunnar Holmberg on passing plays. So FIU is going to have to improve on the offensive line to get something going here in this game.
109-11 advantage in total yards for Bryant. Just 7 passing yards for FIU. Holmberg in for his 3rd drive. Immediately goes to the outside. That's Josiah Miamin with his first reception as an FIU Panther. Keeps the legs plugging away to close to 1st down yardage. FIU hasn't been able to get Tyrese Chambers involved either yet.
Yeah, FIU is just going to have to take what Bryant's giving them, and right now it's those short passes, the quick outs, the quick hitches. Take a couple of those, try to open things up, and then maybe you can try a shot to Chambers at some point.
Quick tempo again for the Panthers. This time Holmberg downfield, far side, and it's overthrown. Chambers the intended target. That's good coverage from Lake Ellis, the Orlando native. 37 tackles last season for Ellis, a junior.
Really nice coverage from Ellis. He's just on an island with Chambers one-on-one on a go route, and he sticks with him the whole way, uses the sideline as his friend. Nice play.
3rd and 3 for FIU. Joseph, the running back, in on this play. Minute 21 to play here in the quarter. Bryant get another stop. Holmberg fakes, steps up, and will take a hit. Didn't get down in time to avoid the hit, but he will earn 1st down yardage with a thump at the end.
I like the toughness from Holmberg. Didn't like what he saw in the passing game. Notices a lane, tucks it, and runs. Good decision making, and I love the toughness, lowering the shoulder to make sure he gets the 1st down.
Joe Andreessen with the big tackle. That's the first set of downs, fresh set of downs for FIU here tonight. With under a minute to play in the 1st quarter. Holmberg will keep it on the ground here. Flex Joseph spinning forward for 12 yards on the play. That's the kind of push that David Yost wants to see from that O-line.
A nice job by Lindell Hudson Jr., the right tackle, winning his one-on-one matchup, and good vision. Look at that cutback from Joseph, finding the hole, picking up the 1st down.
Moving a little bit too early here with tempo. It might be Ray Burnett with procedural penalty on the left side of the line.
False start. Offense. Number 74. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Burnett, a junior from Oklahoma, Houston Baptist transfer. Chambers will head to the sideline.
New offensive coordinator David Yost really wants FIU snapping the ball or being ready to snap the ball with at least 28 seconds remaining on the play clock. That's going really fast, so the Panthers are still getting used to that.
Holmberg going to run again. Nowhere to go. And that'll be the final play of the 1st quarter. Who saw this coming? Maybe Bryant did. Came in here with bad intentions. It's a 9-0 lead for the Bryant Bulldogs after 15. We're through a quarter here at FIU Stadium. A 9-0 lead for Bryant. A.J. Ricketts, Patrick Murray. An auspicious start for Mike McIntyre's squad in Game 1. With his new coaching staff on hand. Looking to turn things around here in the 2nd quarter. It'll be 2nd and 15 on the 39 to start things off. Holmberg immediately to the outside. Ross Fournier can't get back to the original line of scrimmage. And 3rd down and long upcoming. Fournier recently just put on scholarship. Former walk-on, can't get much here.
Look at number 8 in white, Kenny Dyson Jr. Good recognition by him, recognizing screen quickly, getting to the outside and making the stop.
3rd and 12. On the ground to Joseph, and he is surrounded. Look at Ben Silver getting into the backfield again. 4th down and a mile. The punt team comes on here.
Silver's just unblocked on the edge there, and Joseph has nowhere to go with numerous Bulldogs in the backfield, and that Bryant defensive line has been very disruptive tonight.
So Dayton Montiel come out, the former Marshall punter, transferred in last season. Low snap. It's the punt off to the 20-yard line where we'll take a friendly FIU bounce. And roll to about the 14 or so. FIU Stadium, the Bulldogs with possession once more. And Gage Maloney will be out for his first series today. The Rock Hill, South Carolina native. Zevi Eckhouse giving him a 9-0 lead to start things off. They'll keep it on the ground. Space for Bryant. First down yardage and more.
Nice run by the Bulldogs. Up front, look at the blocking up front by Bryant. Look how far they're pushing back the FIU defensive line. And nice job by Sahanowski finding that cutback lane, picking up a big gain up the middle.
Sahanowski had all sorts of space, so 1st and 10 here at the 32. That was his first carry of the evening. Not as much this time.
Sahanowski with the carry.
We thought we'd see a lot of Fabrice McKendy for Bryant tonight at running back. He had a tremendous season as a freshman in 2021, but it's been a rotation for the Bulldogs, and it's worked well for them at that running back spot.
42 yards on the ground now for Bryant. Looks like an empty backfield here, though. Gary Cooper lined up on the far side as well, the Indiana transfer who played for Chris Merritt when he was at Columbus High School. Carlos Abascal, the left guard, or left tackle, excuse me, at the moment. And a little ahead of himself, cost Bryant 5 yards there.
And the fact that Gage Maloney is on the field here for Bryant really shows what he means to this team and how well he's been playing in practice, because Eckhouse has been outstanding so far tonight.
7 for 7, 87 yards for Eckhouse. Maloney, left-hander, down to the 35 and more as Bryant continues to move down the field.
Pass is complete to Jalen Powell.
Powell's done a nice job tonight of working that out route near the sideline. Good protection from the Bryant front, and Powell's just wide open.
1st and 10.
First reception for Powell this evening. Excuse me, 3rd for 31 yards, beg your pardon. 1st and 10 at the 42. Maloney fakes it to the right, slings it far side, and this time, well done by FIU to pursue. Only a gain about 4 yards on that play. Some creative play calling here offensively as Jamal Potts in on the tackle.
A nice tackle by Potts, and FIU is changing up its coverage now. Early in the game, they were playing a single high safety, more aggressive. Now they're going with 2 high safeties, trying to guard against that deep pass after Eckhouse unleashed a big one on him on the previous drive.
2nd and 8, 4 minutes into the second quarter here. Maloney on the ground. More yardage, 1st down. Bryant's moving forward once more. Sahanowski again.
And the Bulldogs have been really impressive tonight, running power here. You see the pulling guard, nice block on the linebacker Manuel. That opened the hole for Sahanowski, and this Bulldog offensive line has done a nice job.
You see, they're the difference offensively right now. You're seeing their experience. This unit has been together for quite some time. 3rd and 1, right at midfield. Maloney, hands off. No, he'll keep it and rumble forward for a first down himself. Gage Maloney, who spent 4 years at James Madison, finally earned his opportunity. Went down with an injury last year. He looks good now.
Quick thinking by Maloney, trying to avoid Donovan Manuel and find some space to get away from the linebacker and move the chains.
In that opening game last year, Maloney was 9 for 15 for 92 yards. He's worked so hard to get back to this point. On the 1st and 10, Bryant. Not much to work with as the FIU defensive line does better there to clog up some holes.
And the interior of that FIU front doing a good job that time. Jordan Garrod getting in there, getting off a block. And that's what FIU really needs right now, is to limit Bryant on first down so you can get him into those 2nd and 3rd and longs, more obvious passing situations, and maybe you can bring some pressure on him and try and make a play defensively.
Tyree Kinsler is that defensive end, outside linebacker hybrid, Syracuse transfer. Maloney faced pressure from the backside. Pass is incomplete. Bryant wants a flag. Boy, Maloney was fortuitous to get that off in time. The corner blitz was incoming, and ultimately an incomplete pass.
Jamal Potts coming from that nickel spot. Nobody saw him for Bryant. The blind side of Maloney. They still almost completed it, but good coverage by Henry Gray to make sure it was incomplete.
Jamal Potts, sophomore out of American Heritage, influencing that play. Well done by Henry Gray, the Nebraska transfer, to still break it up. 3rd and 9 here for Bryant. He was 2 for 4 on 3rd downs, and they're going to talk about it. Bryant will talk it over. We'll take a break. 3rd and 9 coming up when we come back. Third and 9 upcoming for Bryant here. Ball at the 44. A 9-0 lead for the Bulldogs on the road. FIU has a game on their hands. Maloney with 3 wideouts here. Pressure from the edge, and they got to him in midfield. Big stop defensively for FIU. They needed something to go their way defensively, and Alex Nobles, the Carolina transfer, gets it done.
97, the right side of your screen, dipping the shoulder, getting under the offensive tackle. Nice job by Alex Nobles, bringing the pass rush. That's what FIU was missing last season, that pass rush from the defensive line. They have some guys, including Nobles, that they think can get the job done this year, and he does it there.
Was primarily on special teams last season for North Carolina. 9 games played, had 2 tackles in a reserve linebacker role. He's hoping to take a step forward this season. A big play there. Tyrese Chambers calls for a fair catch at the 12-yard line. 8:03 left to go here in the first half. Steve Gunnar Holmberg comes out once more. Mike McIntyre alluded to, hey, we might see multiple guys. We'll feel it out, see how the game is going. We'll see what the gist is, the MO is with Holmberg moving forward. But offensively for FIU, what is the solution here? They've been stymied each and every drive.
The Panthers have to find a way to create a big play. They tried to go deep down the field to Tyrese Chambers once, couldn't hook up. You have to find a way to hit something to gain some momentum deep down the field.
So 1st and 10 for FIU at its own 13. Holmberg has some time to work with. Scrambles to the right, plants his feet. Chambers, first reception of the season. There's sure to be many throughout the year. See if that gets Tyrese Chambers going with his first grab midway through the second quarter.
A nice job by Holmberg of extending that play, keeping his eyes down the field. Finally gets to his third read in Chambers and moves the chains.
Holmberg again rolling out to his right. Rivaldo Fairweather, a 4-yard gain. First reception for the talented tight end for FIU.
Fairweather is a guy that can be featured in this offense with David Yost running things. Former Oregon quarterback coach, Texas Tech offensive coordinator, likes to get his tight ends involved, and Fairweather is a really good one.
3 wide again for the Panthers here as Flex Joseph remains in the backfield. It's an important possession here for FIU. Remember, Bryant kicked off to start the game. A good possession to start the third quarter. On 2nd and 6, a reverse pursuit, and that did not work out like FIU intended. Jalen Bracey had nowhere to go, and a 3rd and long upcoming for the Panthers.
Now, this is a veteran front seven for Bryant. They were not fooled at all. Johan Dreesen recognized that right away. He flies into the backfield from his linebacker spot. Good recognition by the Bryant defense.
3rd and 16. .153 total yards for Bryant tonight. 46 for FIU, just 7 on the ground.
Look out for pressure from the Bulldogs.
They're showing it. Holmberg gets it off quickly. Incomplete, no flag thrown. Panthers thought Bracey got hit early. Instead, the punt unit will be trotting out on the field once more.
That blitz coming. Holmberg felt like he had to get the ball out quick. It was close. That hit might have gotten there a bit early, but the officials are going to let him play.
Nice crowd here, which a nice student turnout for the Panthers. They are stunned at the moment as Montel sends it to the 35. And maybe a yard or two on the return for Bryant, who will look to keep the offense rolling. 6:02 left to go here in the first half. Bryant with the football. 6:02 to play first half. 9-0 lead. Looking to add on to it here. And getting the ball out of the half as well. Things not looking great right now for Mike McIntyre's squad. Maloney on the post route. First down and a flag. Looked like interference on Henry Gray, but the catch was made anyway from Landon Ruggieri.
A nice job by Ruggieri, just boxing out Gray, getting his body in front of him. Little RPO. Good read by Maloney.
Officials gone back to each other here to figure it out, but it looks like a interference call on Henry Gray on the outside.
Yeah, it seems like it would be the right call to me. Gray was all over his back.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 2. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
And got it all sorted out there.
Yeah, FIU had the box stacked. They were expecting run. Bryant calls an RPO. Maloney makes a nice read, sees the one-on-one matchup on the outside, and really good job by Ruggieri of boxing out Gray and making the catch.
First and 10 at midfield for Bryant. Maloney now 3 of 4. Handoff, by arm. Maybe half a yard. Devon Strickland trying to fire his team up here. The senior who has really developed terrifically in his time at FIU after a quiet first 2 years.
99 right in the middle of that defense. Good lateral movement, shedding that block. He's really been emerging as the guy that can be a star on this defense for FIU.
Preseason all-conference first team. Came into FIU 2018, only had 2 tackles, was injured all of 2019. Since then, he has made an impact as the redshirt junior. 5 minutes to play, first half. Maloney, another play fake. Ruggieri nearly was able to haul that in, just outside of his wingspan there. Third down.
Yeah, again, on the RPO, Maloney making the right read, but he hurried a little bit that time and was not quite as accurate with the throw as he was on the previous one to Ruggieri.
It's
Third and long here. I wonder if FIU brings some pressure. You've got Sean Peterson Jr., great speed on that near side edge. Peterson's coming. Maloney, tight pocket, gets it off, completes. What a catch. First down, Bryant. It's Jalen Powell once again.
Well, nice job by Powell against the zone defense of FIU, just finding the soft spot, coming in from the right side of your screen, just settles between two FIU defenders in the zone, and a good throw by Maloney to put it on him.
Powell has 5 catches now for 46 yards. 6 other receivers with a reception apiece. The Bulldogs now down to the 37. Maloney handoff. 2 yards on first down here.
And FIU's doing a better job against the run on this drive, moving quickly to the outside on the defensive line, getting off blocks.
Sahanowski there, another yard or 2. Ryan Clark will sub in the running back rotation now. Sahanowski will come back out as well, so a dual running back set here.
We've seen a lot of different looks from Bryant tonight, and mixing in another one here.
On 2nd and 8. Low snap, Maloney handles it. Looked like he wanted to take a deep shot. Instead, will tuck it and run, slides forward. Close to the first down marker. Gage Maloney showing some toughness.
A good coverage by FIU, but Maloney doing a nice job of recognizing that nothing's open, finding the lane to run and turn it into a 3rd and short, giving his team a chance to pick up another first down.
So we'll call it 3rd and 2. 3 minutes to play in the half. FIU trying to keep Bryant out of field goal range here. Keep this deficit manageable. Maloney needs 2 yards. He'll hand it off to his tailback. And looks like he got it. Ryan Clark on his 2nd carry. The converted quarterback moves the sticks. Egan Davis made the tackle. Henry Gray is down on the turf. So we'll take a break while they get that sorted out. 2:31 left to play. Fresh set of downs for Bryant when we return. First and 10 coming up for the Bryant Bulldogs at the 26-yard line. 2:31 to play here in the first half. A notable 3rd down conversion on a 3rd and 2 right before the break. A 9-0 lead here. Low snap. Maloney taking an end zone shot near side, just out of the range of Ruggieri. Part of that last first down important, not just in the fact that Bryant can continue to try to get in the end zone, but taking time off the clock, not letting FIU have another possession.
For sure, you know that FIU offense wants to get back on the field, get things figured out, try and change the momentum of this game, but Bryant has done a really good job of just eating up clock, and that's one of the things that you like to do if you're an FCS team coming into the stadium of a higher level opponent in the FBS. Run that clock, shorten the game, and Bryant has done that well.
Edmond motions to the far side. 2nd and 10. Maloney got about 5 yards. Tackle made promptly from Jamal Potts.
Jalen Powell just continuing to work that quick out route. He does a good job with it. Nice quick cut to the outside. Good catch with the hands out away from his body and hanging on through the hit.
9-0 our score, 2:16 left to play. We'll take one more break before the end of the half. So 3rd and 6 at the 21-yard line after that timeout from Bryant. 2:18 left to play. Maloney, middle of the field, caught. This could be 6. What a hit delivered, still fighting to get in the end zone. That's a touchdown. Jahad Edmond lowering the boom. 15-0 Bulldogs. Play of the game so far.
What an individual effort by Edmond, coming from the right side of the screen, just settling down in the middle of the zone. And then watch this, boom, lowering the shoulder, delivering the blow on the safety and fighting his way into the end zone. Fantastic effort from Jahad Edmond.
What an effort.
And the question is, did he get in before his forward progress was stopped? Still driving the legs, and it's hard to tell.
The PAT will render that null. Extra point is up and good. Wow. And if you're FIU, you're already kind of wondering what's going on here. That play in itself a gut punch. Now down 16-0 at home. There's been so much optimism throughout this offseason. You're seeing here early on the work that is still yet to be done.
And one of the differences between these two teams is, first of all, Bryant is a very experienced team, and they've got the same coaching staff that they had last year, so they can continue to add to their scheme, put in new things, put in some nuances. Meanwhile, FIU, they have 48 newcomers on the roster and a brand new coaching staff. They're still learning a lot of things, getting things installed. So it's a very experienced team in Bryant against a very inexperienced team with a new coaching staff in FIU. But the Panthers have got to find a way to get a spark right here before half.
Well, there still is time to get something done. 2:07 left to play. Ryan's been doing that a couple times this evening. They'll retreat back and send it away. 10 plays, 62 yards, 355. Edmond with his second touchdown at Bryant. And last year, 27 grabs, 213 yards, and a touchdown. Edmond now a senior. Is determined in effort, as you will see. Now FIU very much compromised.
The Panthers have to put something together on this drive. Receivers haven't really been getting open deep. Gunnar Holmberg has got to trust his protection when it's there, and at times the O-line has to play better as well. It's a variety of different things that have gone wrong for the Panthers offense.
Fans are desperate for something to cheer for. FIU get points. Holmberg. Go far side. First tackle evaded by Chris Mitchell. Good second effort, earns FIU a first down. Dean Patterson, his first reception of the evening.
Nice job by Patterson, the former walk-on, of taking a short pass, breaking the tackle, and making it into something. 2-minute drill here for the Panthers.
Patterson impressed, particularly in spring ball. Holmberg sacked at the 30. FIU still has a pair of timeouts to work with. They'll take one of them. They have to at this point. Even 3 points Feels very necessary right now.
The Bryant defensive line continuing to be very disruptive, coming right up the middle. It's actually a blitz, a delayed blitz from Ryan Sadler from his middle linebacker spot, and nobody picked him up for FIU.
You were talking about the continuity, Patrick, of the coaching staff. We talked with Chris Merritt last night. He said it's also a year finally I didn't have to replace a coordinator. I've had to replace 17 coaches in my time here. He said, I haven't got rid of one of them. They've all just advanced their careers, taken good jobs, moved forward in their coaching journeys. So now it's a chance for our team, especially the offense, to perfect what they already know. And he said, this is where we hoped the program would be at this point. You're seeing that on the field right now.
And Chris Merritt has been building up to this point. All the recruiting that he's done, the guys that he recruited in his first year are now seniors, and it's starting to come together for Bryant.
2nd and 15, Holmberg facing pressure again, gets back past the line of scrimmage, and more importantly, out of bounds to set up a 3rd and short.
Good awareness from Holmberg. He's had to use his legs a lot tonight. He does a good job of recognizing the pressure, feeling it, and escaping the pocket, and just finding a way to make a play. Good job to get out of bounds, too, and stop the clock.
FIU, it feels, has just had to work for every single yard, every first down. Just 4 of them in this first half. 3rd and 3. Holmberg feeling a little bit of heat, goes off to Wilson. It's a foot race for the first down marker, and it looks like Bryant won it.
Pass is completed. E.J. Wilson Jr.
I think you have to go for it here. If you're FIU, you got to be aggressive and find a way to make something happen. I know you would give Bryant advantageous field position, but if you coach aggressive, your players play aggressive, and that's what the Panthers need right now.
Tyrese Chambers, FIU star wideout. Just 1 catch for 19 yards tonight. He's lined up at the bottom of your screen. 4th and 3. A critical play here towards the end of the first half. Holmberg fires across the middle. Meeman the reception. Out across the 45. 2nd catch for Meeman today.
I like the aggressiveness of going for it. Good quick throw, get the ball out of Holmberg's hands quickly. I like the call, double slants. And Meeman does a nice job of securing it.
Holmberg evading pressure again. Buy some extra time. Dangerous pass, nearly picked off. Holmberg probably thought twice after he let that one go. Fortunate to have another snap.
Now Holmberg forced that one. Bryant has done a nice job in the back end of the secondary and just coming up and nearly a pick for the Bulldogs. And yeah, Holmberg is going to want to have that one back. He's been desperate to make a deep play tonight, but Bryant has taken those things away.
TJ Butler was holding his ground, waiting for Holmberg to perhaps let it go. Fortunate for FIU. Dump pass. E.J. Wilson has great speed. Wilson angling towards the 30. First down, Panthers.
Yeah, that's what FIU needs. Get your playmakers in space and let them use their speed. Wilson's faster than anybody on that Bryant team. You get him one-on-one, he's going to outrun people.
Randall St. Felix, the lone wideout at the top of your screen. 1 minute left first half. Holmberg in the middle of the pocket finds Fairweather, who's brought down by the legs at the 26. Panthers have 1 timeout left. Still have to operate efficiently here. So pair grabs now for the FIU tight end. 2nd down. Holmberg with pressure just has to get it off. Bryant player making a nice effort towards it, but a smarter decision there from Holmberg. 3rd down coming up.
That was the only play he had, was to throw it away. And that's nearly a coverage sack as he's running away from Andreessen, but just barely gets it back to the sideline.
Michael Oddie wanted a pick.
he wanted that
Michael
bad.
Oddie laid out. There's a decent Bryant
lineman
contingent here with all the Florida and South Florida players they recruit. They appreciated that effort. 3rd and 3. Flex Joseph, the tailback. Holmberg will follow his running back, serving as a lead blocker, ensure they get the fresh set of downs. 32 seconds to work with inside the red zone.
Stop the clock to move the chains. Good push by the FIU O-line and a nice block by Flex Joseph on the right side of that play to spring Holmberg.
Holmberg goes near side. Fournier with the catch. Unless it's a quick spike, FIU might have to burn that last time out. And they will use it here. That's their last, and that changes the outlook here a little bit as you take another look at this play.
Yeah, Bryant has taken away everything deep for FIU tonight with their quarters coverage. So Panthers having to hit those quick hitters, and 20 seconds left inside the 15. You figure you should get 3 shots at the end zone here before you have to kick the field goal.
Yeah, theoretically, you feel you could go
2 shots, but if you don't pick up the first down.
Well, the thing that helps FIU, they only need 2 yards for that first down. So perhaps a quick play in the middle of the field, get 4 or 5 yards, the clock stops for a quick spike. They're not necessarily obligated to have to go to the sideline or end zone. They'll probably only do that once upon getting the first down, and still have to operate quickly.
You have to go quick, and I think you're looking for a quick hitter over the middle of the field.
Panthers desperate for points. Holmberg near side, caught Chambers, momentum took him to the ground. He's quickly on his feet. Clock stops momentarily. Holmberg under center for the first time tonight and will spike it. 10 seconds left.
Good operation there from FIU. Nice route by Chambers on the left side of the screen, just sitting down in the void.
Add 2 seconds here, give FIU 12 to work with.
I was going to say, I think they did run a couple extra off at the end, but good operation by FIU to get up there and get it spiked quickly. Give yourself a couple of shots at the end zone.
First and goal at the 4. Holmberg looking left, lobs it up, Flex Joseph, touchdown, FIU. In the end zone for the first time tonight with 8 seconds left in the first half. A critical play for the Panthers as the half winds down.
Nice play call. You get Flex Joseph, the running back, lined up one-on-one with a linebacker in Sadler. Joseph's going to win that matchup every time. And a good enough throw from Holmberg to get it done.
Offense will stay out. 2-score game if you convert that 2-point conversion twice, of course. See what David Yost, offensive coordinator, dials up here. Motion pre-snap. Holmberg. Nobody there. And a flag thrown late, though. Dean Patterson got held in the middle, was looking all around. And finally, that flag came from the back judge, so FIU might get another go at this. And some rain starts to fall here at FIU Stadium.
Pass interference. Defense, number 11. The foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, after this is 2 goals, replay the try.
Left side of the screen near the hash mark is where it occurs. Yep, the Patterson just runs right into the defender. And that's a good call. Because he can't just stop, get in his way and stop him from getting to the football.
FIU stacking that near side. Some more whistles. I think Chris Merritt sprinting down the sideline. Taking his second timeout. This is a big play right here. He wants to keep it that extra possession game. There's Merritt showing his wheels down that far side.
When you need it, you can go. But yeah, it is an important play. The difference between a 1-possession game and a 2-possession game.
Especially with the way FIU's offense has struggled. Starting to figure things out here on this last possession of the first half. Still took a 4th down conversion, though, to get to this point. If you're Bryant, you have no complaints about the first. Well, maybe the penalty on the touchdown is a complaint, but big picture, Bryant fans have to be thrilled.
Yeah, absolutely. To come in against an FBS opponent, have the lead at halftime, and even have a chance here to have a 2-possession lead at halftime, you couldn't ask for more if you're a Bryant fan.
Nobody in the backfield with Holmberg. Here comes that pre-snap motion again from Joseph. They'll give it off to him. Flex Joseph's responsibility. FIU says they have it. No signal yet. Only hard to tell in that big pile. It's no good. Bryant makes the stand. And it's going to be a 2-possession game heading into the locker room.
And the Bulldogs have really done a nice job on both lines of scrimmage tonight. They're big up front. On the left side of the screen, it's the big fella, Jack Daly, 315-pounder, with one arm grabbing Flex Joseph as he's trying to slide off his block. And that's a big play for the Bulldogs to keep it a 2-possession game.
Yeah, it looked like Joseph had a small crease there to work with. Jack Daly had other ideas. A lot to think about in the locker room for Mike McIntyre's squad. As the rain starts to fall, that'll thin out the crowd a little bit. You're down 10 points to your FCS opponent. FIU has struggled the last couple of years against FCS competition here at home. Remember 2 seasons ago, Jacksonville State came in here and picked up a victory. And I think FIU fans maybe felt a little bit better about that a year later when Jack State got a victory up in Tallahassee. He said, see, they were good. Like, it wasn't just us. Florida State took the loss to them.
And now Jacksonville State's going to be a Conference USA member as well.
They'll see each other much more often here soon.
It's justified that. That's a good program.
This is not the game Panther fans had in mind. Kickoff for Matthias, a yard deep in the end zone. A little bit of space. Uh-oh. Zarilla could take this to the house. And tripped up with about 30 yards left. My goodness, that could have been disaster. That was Anthony Frederick, I beg your pardon. My goodness. And that ends the half. Wow.
Frederick almost had a huge play. He just barely gets tripped up at the end. Man, he'd love to have those last few steps back.
CJ Christian made a dive. Who knows if that influenced the tackle. Ultimately, a 16-6 game here at the half. More coming up here on ESPN3.
For the momentum of the game, FIU got back in it with that touchdown at the end of the half. And now the defense has to stand up for the Panthers and try to flip the momentum in this game while Bryant is trying to keep doing what they're doing.
Well, it's going to be Eckhouse to start here, Patrick, to answer your question. Places it in the pads of his running back. First play, third quarter for a positive chunk of yards, about 3 on first down for Bayarn.
Head coach Chris Merritt was telling us that he was going to play both quarterbacks until one of them separated themselves, and both have played really well tonight. So we may continue to see both of them until some point when one of them starts playing worse than the other.
Eckhouse 7 for 7, Maloney 6 for 9. 153 yards through the air. 3 wide to the far side. Eckhouse, simple hitch route. And should be a first down here for Bryant. Jalen Powell on the reception. Flag in the backfield, though.
Personal foul. Illegal block below the waist. Offense. Number 1. 15-yard penalty. Second down.
So that'll be on Byarm on the pass block.
Correction. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
That's one thing that officials are emphasizing this year. You cannot block below the waist outside of the tackle box, and you can't really see it there. But Byarm, the running back, was called for it, and it must have been a block below the waist outside of the tackle box. They're trying to take some of the more dangerous plays out of the game, and that's one of them.
So well behind the original line of scrimmage. 2nd and 21 here for Bryant. It's own 14. Byarm again, not going anywhere. And FIU has a chance to force a 3-and-out here.
And that's been the key for FIU tonight. It is on first down, and a nice job of getting off a block by Alex Nobles and getting in the backfield. Really nice play by that whole FIU defensive line there. And when the Panthers have been able to get Bryant behind the chains on 2nd and 3rd down, they've been able to be more aggressive, and that's when they've gotten their stops.
Nobles having a solid game defensively here. His first competition as an FIU Panther. 3rd and 24. Bulldogs snapping this from Lauderdale. Eckhouse, a bit of trouble. Byron got blasted by Henry Gray. Hard to do much with anything, though, on 3rd and 24, and the punt unit will come out here for Bryant.
Big hit by Gray, but it's Devon Strickland, 99, coming right up the middle and applying the pressure that made Eckhouse get rid of that ball before he wanted to.
Tyrese Chambers and Dean Patterson both back to receive for FIU. Ethan Getman, and Daytona Beach product out of Mainland High School. You know, last year, partner, he had an 82-yard punt against St. Francis.
He's got a leg.
Bombs this out to 45. Fair catch called for. Yep, and I thought that hand went up from Chambers. And that'll send us to break. His brother the same day had an 83-yard punt.
Man.
16-6. So FIU forces a 3-and-out on Bryant's first possession of the second half. Gunnar Holmberg and company now on offense. Holmberg had time to set his feet, goes downfield, and that'll be incomplete. His intended target, Jalen Bracey. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, FIU wants to take those shots deep. Had Tyrese Chambers on the post route that time, but Bryant just continues to do a nice job of playing deep coverage, taking it away.
Flag immediately thrown. Fairweather bobbled it across the middle of the field. We're going to say that was incomplete. The flag was thrown well before Fairweather caught the pass.
We'll have to check the flag. FIU going with the power pass.
An official checking with his line judge here.
Offside. Defense, number 8. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
FIU will get 5 free yards with the offside penalty from Kenny Dyson Jr. Our head referee tonight, Rory Bernard. Kenny Dyson, a senior from Stanford, Connecticut, first team Northeast Conference last year. 2nd and 5. Here's E.J. Wilson. Straight up the middle, 4 yards. We'll set up a 3rd and inches.
Those penalties are starting to hurt Bryant now. We saw one on the offensive side. And nice run here by E.J. Wilson, finding the hole and setting up a 3rd and short.
Wilson out for a pass this time, makes the catch, but hit immediately short of the sticks. Ryan Sadler, he's a South Florida guy, product of Cardinal Gibbons, all up in E.J. Wilson's grill.
Good play by Sadler, recognizing it right away. FIU scored the touchdown with Flex Joseph on that same play. This time Sadler sniffs it out and makes the stop.
Same spot, 4th and inches. Fairweather comes to the far side while Bracey lines up in the slot. Wilson gets the carry. 1st down yardage before being tripped up. Down the gap. Wilson secures a fresh set of downs for FIU.
Good job up the middle by the FIU O-line. Getting that push. Julius Pierce at center, pushing his man back and giving E.J. Wilson room to move the chains.
Holmberg from midfield. Oh, he got hit. There's a fumble on the field. Bryant's saying they have it. Holmberg got blasted. There's a flag after the play. That's Bryant football. FIU turns it over. Holmberg got crushed, and he's still on the turf.
Big hit by Chris Eaton coming on the stunt. 15 right up the middle What a shot. Big play for Bryant.
16-6 our score. So this is going to be a 1st and 10 for FIU. Right after we went to break, they initiated a review for targeting, and it was confirmed. So Chris Eden Jr. is out of the game for Bryant after the targeting on Gunnar Holmberg. And now for the first time tonight, we're seeing FIU sophomore Grayson James. We'll hand off on the first play. E.J. Wilson bouncing to the near side for positive yards. All right, let's take another look and see that play from Eden. That's a big call because it gives FIU a fresh chance here.
Eden is 15 and white. He's going to come right up the middle. And watch him lower that shoulder. And, yeah, the head, the helmet, crown of the helmet hits the face mask of Holmberg. That is textbook targeting. And Eaton is ejected from the game and will have to miss the first half next week as well.
Holmberg being attended to on the FIU sideline.
One against each team. Holding. Offense, number 67. Personal foul. Targeting. Defense, number 22. Those fouls offset. The penalty of targeting is under further review.
And now they're going to have a targeting review on C.J. McGarity. So even though the penalty's offset, they're still going to take a look, and McGarity's game may be compromised.
I don't think I've ever seen targeting on back-to-back plays before. That's a new one. But one of the new rules this year is that if there's a targeting in the second half, you can appeal it to the conference office. And let's check it out here. There was helmet-to-helmet contact. Garrity's lowering the helmet. When you have a targeting that occurs in the second half, the new rule this year is that you can appeal to the conference office to take away that first half suspension next week. Here's Garrity.
That's tough because it looks like he's trying to go low.
He's trying to go low, and it's Wilson lowering the shoulder and lowering his helmet, and it's really Wilson who initiated the contact, in my opinion. So I don't think you can call targeting on Garrity in that case, but that's why they have these reviews. They want the officials to throw the flag whenever they think there may be targeting.
Yeah, so get the. So ultimately, that takes away the offsetting penalties, of course. It'll be 1st and 20 for the Panthers.
Good
One
job.
more look at it.
Good job by the officials of administrating that correctly. And the ball carrier, E.J. Wilson, he's the one that initiates the contact, lowering the helmet. And McGarity is trying to go low and avoid the helmet-to-helmet contact. So that's the right call to take away that targeting.
A little more difficulty here for Grayson James and company. Gunnar Holmberg led a touchdown drive on the final possession of the first half for FIU. Could this be Grayson James' moment? Here's Randall St. Felix, first catch of the evening, out towards the 30-yard line. First completion for Grayson James tonight.
And that's really been the best way for FIU to move the ball, is hitting those quick hitches and quick outs and slowly moving it down the field.
2nd down and 12. James off the fingertips of Chambers. It'll be 3rd and long. It might have been headed towards Fournay. Chambers thought it was coming his way on the crossing route. It's up 3rd down upcoming here.
That's a good point. I think you may be right, because there was a little extra heat on that. Fournay's wide open, sitting in the middle of the field, and Chambers comes into the screen thinking it's for him. And I think you're right. That was intended for Fournay, and just a miscommunication there between the FIU receivers and QB.
Third and 13 at the 32. St. Felix off the shoulder pads, bounces incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
So this will be interesting here. The field goal unit and Chase Gabriel come on. A long field goal. Does not look like it at the moment.
4th and 13 is tough to convert. Gabriel,
He can hit from this distance.
he was really good in high school He had one playoff game where he made 3 field goals of over 50 yards.
And that's what it would be around here. We're going to keep the offense on. 4th and 13 for Grayson James. Has time. Home run pass, middle of the field. Fairweather lost his balance. It's incomplete, and that might have been a touchdown. If he was able to stay on his feet, he thought he was tripped up, and there should have been a flag. That's a tough break for FIU.
And Fairweather beat his man. He was wide open, and a nice throw from James, but he just stumbles. Fairweather just lost his footing and stumbled. Otherwise, that's a touchdown.
16-6 our score. 9:51 left to play in the third. Bryant Bulldog football, 1st and 10 at the 32. Good to have you with us on ESPN3 tonight. A.J. Ricketts, Patrick Murray. Bryant out of the FCS. A 10-point advantage on FIU on the road. And continuing to get it done on the ground, starting to get closer to a 100-yard game as a team. That's Byarm again, who's been effective today with a touchdown run to his credit as well.
Byarm has been running tough, lowering the shoulder, always falling forward at the end of runs, and the Bryant O-line has done a good job of opening holes for him too.
He's listed as 5'4", but he certainly doesn't play 5'4". He's got speed and some toughness to his game as well. 2nd and 3. Eckhouse, deep shot, far sideline, got a step on Henry Gray, and the catch made. Frederick again. Bryant in business.
Henry Gray was trying to run with him, stumbled just a little bit, and Bryant takes advantage. Frederick has been the big play guy for the Bulldogs tonight. A nice adjustment, turning around and falling away to make that catch.
Bulldogs move all the way to the 30. It's a 31-yard completion. 8:40 to go, third quarter. Oh yeah, Eckhouse still perfect, 9 for 9. Time to work with again, Eckhouse. End zone shot off the fingertips. How close was that? That's the first incompletion. Derek Eugene nearly brought it in.
Maybe just a little bit too much on it from Eckhouse, just out of the reach of Eugene. That's a tough catch to make going over the shoulder.
There's a flag on the play. And some deliberation.
Inevitable player downfield. Offense, number 78. Penalties decline. 2nd down.
So Jamichael Watts flagged there, but FIU declines. So 2nd and 10, still here at the 30. .256 yards of offense for Bryant today. We'll take a timeout to try to figure things out here. Got a little confused at the line. 30-second timeout with Bryant up 10. So Grayson James, was an interesting possession there on the other side for FIU coming in from Holmberg. Made some good passes, a little bit of bad luck. He had Fairweather lose his balance. Chambers thought the pass was for him. See if Holmberg is back on the field after being seen in the medical tent, or if James will get another possession. Look, there's still plenty of time for FIU here, but another touchdown drive from Bryant, and with the way the offense has struggled, it starts to look much more problematic if you give up a score.
For sure, this is an important drive for FIU. The defense can at least hold to a field goal here. It gives you a better chance to come back. And FIU has had a hard time moving the ball tonight, other than that the 2-minute drill. They were able to move it a bit on this last drive, so you don't want to have to come back from 3 scores down.
Just 26 rushing yards for FIU as well. That was a problem last year. 2nd and 10. House will give it off. Byarm, look how quick he finds a gap. Byarm not going down. The efforts that Bryant has given to, how about Edmond near the goal line last half? Byarm, after getting the first down here, they don't go down.
These are some tough dudes, these Bryant Bulldogs, just slipping through that hole. Byarm, and then 1, he's got 3 guys on him, and then 2, and getting some help from the O-line, and Carlos Pascal giving him a little push. Bryant has really displayed their toughness tonight, especially as ball carriers.
You're seeing a veteran team on the field right now. It has played together for quite some time. Going up high this time is Zarilla. Flag on the outside. Looking to hurdle defenders. See if it was a legal block or not.
I think it may be a hold.
Number 15, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
That was Lathrop, backup tight end.
He was on the outside of that play and grabbed a hold of Henry Gray. Look for 15 and White on the right side of the screen. He's on the smaller corner, Gray, and just grabs his jersey and holds on to him. Doesn't give him a chance to make a play.
Zarilla, the lone receiver on the far side. House the pass. Blitz comes. End zone shot. Powell makes the catch. Got inside the pylon. Touchdown, Bryant. What a pitch and catch, and the Bulldogs feel that it's real now.
Jalen Powell has really stepped up tonight. He's made several good plays. Running the corner route there. The bottom of the screen. And we're going to have to see if he got this over the goal line. Nice catch reaching over his head. Does he get it over the goal line before he steps out of bounds? We'll get a better look from this end zone angle. Good blitz pickup by Bryant up front. He steps out of bounds right there at the 2-yard line. And you can't tell from that angle if the ball was over the goal line at the time he stepped out.
Definitely had possession, though. Made the catch. Football move, they say, if you will.
Definitely a catch, yeah, for sure. A football move, that's a football move if I've ever seen one.
Demetrius Hill was in coverage. And this is an FIU defensive backs group, Patrick, that has plenty of talent. Transfers who've come into the program. Adrian Cole came in from Syracuse. There's been some Henry Gray's, the Nebraska transfer, who's been in the program for 2 years now. But it's not necessarily the most experienced group, and Bryant's trying to take advantage of that here today.
Yeah, FIU is inexperienced defensively. They want to play an aggressive defense, want to keep it simple and allow their guys to play fast. And a lot of times, this defense that FIU is playing, the coverage they're playing, you're going to end up on an island one-on-one, and you have to win those matchups. And at times tonight, FIU's gotten beat.
After review, the ruling of a touchdown has been overturned. The runner stepped out of bounds at the 2-yard line. It's first and goal at the 2-yard line.
The points may come off the board, but the task is no less difficult for FIU now. Bryant knocking on the door once again. Byarm in the backfield. House to take the snap. He'll give it off to his running back. Byarm gets the pile pushed forward by his offensive line. House feels he has another touchdown. There's a fumble on the field, though, and it's FIU football. What a disaster for Bryant on the doorsteps of another score, and FIU takes it away when they needed to.
What a huge play for the Panthers. Byarm was trying to get it in on the second effort, and you can't really tell what's going on under that pile. Nice hit, and he's just in a pile of players. FIU does a good job of ripping at the football. And I don't know how you're going to tell on a review when that ball came out.
We're almost waiting for forward progress being stopped to be called, but the O-line was still getting a little bit of push, it felt.
The whistle never blew.
No.
I never heard it blow.
Wow.
It did seem like the play was going on for a long time, longer than you would typically allow a play to go in that situation when usually forward progress is stopped.
Well, Eckhouse was signaling for a touchdown, and then all of a sudden he was chasing after the football.
Let's see what we can see here. Christian sticking his nose in there, making a nice hit.
Okay, no, Eckhouse
trying to pick
there he
guys
is,
off the pile.
signaling the touchdown. He was pushing the pile at first, and then it comes loose. Tried to dive in there.
To me, it seems like they're just going to give the ball to FIU.
Yeah. Grayson James, halfway in his own end zone, has to be careful here. FIU will get half a yard or so.
In that situation, but they rule a fumble on the field. There was really no way to overturn that because you can't see what's going on under a pile of 300-pound guys. And a big break for FIU. That was huge.
James to pass. Pressure coming. Has to get it off. Incomplete. Was closer to a Bryant lineman than anybody else. I think that was Ben Silver in the area. James harassed from the snap there.
That was extremely dangerous in a couple different ways. First, almost a safety. A nice job by the D-line of applying the pressure, and then almost a pick. Not a great decision on where to throw that ball from James. But Dyson applying the pressure. And now FIU just has to get out of this situation without having a bad play.
We'll see if David Yost keeps it on the ground here. Flex Joseph to the right of his quarterback. James will throw. He's going to take a heave. Near side, Patterson, incomplete. No flag on the play. James overthrew him.
Tight coverage from Blake Ellis as well. I've been really impressed with these Bryant defensive backs tonight. That was the more inexperienced part of their defense. The front seven is the more highly touted part, but these corners and safeties have done a really nice job in coverage tonight. Ellis is step for step Patterson, and just a bit overthrown from James.
Ellis was 5th on the team last year in tackles. Florida native out of Orlando. Product of the First Academy. In the back of the end zone here, able to get the punt out is Montel. Only to the 35. Powell takes it and gets 5 yards in the return as well. And down to the end zone for Bryant after that play.
It looks like there's a flag in the end zone as well.
Bryant athletic training staff out to check on the player down. Trying to get view of who that is. Have to figure out what the flag is too here. 6:32 to go in the third quarter.
Running into the kicker. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay. 4th down.
So it's not roughing the kicker, it's running into the kicker, which will not give FIU a first down, but perhaps a chance for Montiel to get off a better punt.
You see at the end of this play, it was Frederick who was on the ground that kind of rolls into Montiel. But he got up and got off the field under his own power.
Still 4 yards to go. FIU will punt deep in their own territory. James now 1 for 6, 7 yards to his tally. A little more room to work with here for Montiel. Powell stands at the 45. Let it bounce. Takes an FIU hop down into Bryant territory.
That's about 25 yards of worse field position for Bryant than they had after that running into the kicker penalty.
So FIU will take everything that came out of the last sequence between Bryant down at the goal line, the fumble, pushing them back into their own territory again. Still, that's another possession. That's more time off the clock. Bryant still with the 2-score lead. FIU has not been able to chip into it at all in the second half.
And this is a tired FIU defense now that has been on the field for a long time and quickly right back out there needing to make a stop.
Able to force their first turnover on the last possession. We'd love to get another here. Ujiri in motion. 4 yards on first down for Sahanowski.
Bryant offensive line continuing to get that little bit of push. Give some room for their backs.
Gain of 4, second and 6.
The Bulldogs are doing the right thing in letting that clock run. Taking their time after each play, letting it run down, trying to shorten this game against an opponent from a higher level of college football.
Under 6 minutes to play, third quarter. Maloney gobbled up in the backfield. Devon Strickland with the sack. We'll set up a 3rd and long.
Strickland's made a few plays tonight. He's getting fired up, trying to get the crowd pumped up. Big number 99 right in the middle. And when you have an offensive lineman turned facing the opposite way, you know you did something right on the D-line. Strickland just blew right by him and gets the sack.
Showing why he's preseason all-conference first team.
Was that a Power Rangers Morphin Time celebration there?
It was something of the nature. 3rd and 13. Maloney. That's complete. Ruggieri at the 40. Big 3rd and long conversion for Bryant.
The Bulldogs have done a good job of that tonight, converting on these drives when they scored, converting those 3rd downs and even a 4th down. And nice protection from the O-line, and Maloney's able to scan the field and finally find Ruggieri open near the sideline.
Adrian Cole, the Syracuse transfer, with the tackle. And Bryant can continue to drain some clock. Sahanowski trying to find space along the edge. Maybe got a yard.
Sahanowski with the carry. Tackled by Adrian Cole.
Bryant's been able to take about 2 minutes off the clock just on the last 3-4 plays. And they can taste it. They know they're close to coming away with one of the biggest wins in program history. That these Bulldogs want to put it away badly.
Well, they thought they had the touchdown from Powell. The review took it away. That's a big reason why FIU's still in this game. Maloney facing some heat from Henry Gray. Got the throw off, but the tackle from Donovan Manuel well in time. 3rd down and about 6 or 7 to go here for Bryant.
FIU bringing the pressure. Gray coming on the corner blitz, and I don't know if Maloney saw him, but he at least felt it enough to slide to his right and get that ball out in time. Gray could have knocked that football out in just another half second or so.
And that throw coming, or the blitz coming from the left side, forcing Maloney to scramble a bit to his right and try to throw across his body a bit as well. 3rd and 7 here. It's Powell in motion. Low snap. Maloney across the middle, and that was held on. Powell, after getting sandwiched, holds on to the football, and another fresh set of downs for Bryant. And a player down for FIU.
That was a tight window right between 2 defenders. Good throw by Maloney and an even better catch by Powell to hang on to it through the contact.
That's Kaya Wright, who may be down for FIU. Oh, no, that's Manuel, beg your pardon.
Let's see what happened to Manuel on this play. He's coming in from the right side, makes that hit, and maybe he gets his leg rolled over a little bit by Powell and kind of collides with his teammate, but he got up pretty quickly and sure we'll see him back in the game soon.
These are 2 third and long conversions now on this drive for Bryant.
And those are backbreakers for a defense. When you do a good job on first and second down, you have the offense right where you want them on third and long, and then you give up a conversion. That's really disheartening for a defense.
It's 3rd and 13 in their own territory. Maloney over the top. Miscommunication with Ruggieri. Good pressure coming from the edge there. His defensive coordinator, Javon DeWitt, maybe trying to dial up the pressure and adversity for Maloney here a bit.
He is being more aggressive with these pressures on this drive. C.J. Christian, the safety, coming off the edge. That's what FIU is going to have to do, because Maloney has had time, and when he's had time, he's done a good job of scanning the field. They got to speed up his clock and continue to bring those pressures.
It stops the clock as well, which is starting to become a factor here late in the third quarter. Maloney wants to take an end zone shot. Powell tracking it down, incomplete. Good coverage in the secondary there. Third down upcoming.
Good coverage by Potts. He was face guarding him, just keeping an eye on Powell, and then a nice job to recognize that the ball is coming and get his hands up and disrupt that catch.
Powell needing a moment after that play. He's still down near the pylon. Tried to get up. And still in some pain near the pylon. 16-6 our score. Bryant 7 for 11 on third downs. A good number of them coming on this drive. They'll be facing a 3rd and 10 here in just a moment.
And we were just talking about it. The 3rd and 10s, FIU's given up 2 of them on this drive. So the biggest thing for the Panthers here is going to be pressure. They have to get pressure on Gage Maloney. Can't let him sit back in the pocket and scan the full field. Have to make him get rid of that ball quickly in these 3rd and long situations.
Powell able to get back up on his feet. Bryant outgaining FIU 321 to 137. Powell's been such a factor today, but he's hobbling off at the moment. 8 catches for 81 yards. Hopefully he will be all right moving forward. All right, so 3rd and 10 now for Bryant. A pair of 3rd and long conversions already on the drive. FIU cannot afford to let that trend continue. Kinsler trying to bring pressure from the edge. Maloney fires the pass in, but it's well short of the sticks. 4th and 4 upcoming.
And that tells me that Bryant was planning on going for it here. That short pass, Maloney seemed content to just take that right away, pick up about half of that 3rd and 10, and then give yourself a chance on 4th and 5 here to keep the drive going.
2 minutes to go, third quarter. 4th and 5, Bryant with a 10-point lead. Empty backfield for Maloney. Last year's starting quarterback. He's fought back from injury. Maloney to the outside, complete. Ruggieri, did he bring it in? Yes, he did. First down, Bryant, this time on a 4th down completion, and the drive continues.
FIU brought the pressure. Gathan Bernadelle coming from his linebacker spot. Nice job by Maloney of getting that ball out, putting it on Ruggieri, and he makes a nice catch going to the ground.
Bryant, if they keep running the football, could probably take this to the end of the quarter. Two-score lead. Maloney hands off, by arm, chops down. Jamal Potts getting in the backfield.
FIU being more aggressive against the run. Potts recognizing it right away, flying in, getting off his block. And that's what the Panthers have needed to Get those negative plays or no gains on first down.
Second down and 15.
Maloney after a double pump. Pass broken up on the far sideline. No flag, incomplete.
Really nice job by Hezekiah Masses, the freshman at corner. Step for step with Frederick, and then watch him get his head turned around, find the football, and deflect it away. Really nice play by a true freshman at corner.
Yeah, one of two true freshmen. I'll say that 5 times. One of two true freshmen to get a starting nod tonight for FIU. Masses has come in and impressed the coaching staff out of Deerfield Beach. Under 30 seconds to play, third quarter. Maloney on 3rd and long. Peterson got to him and took the football away. FIU, another turnover with 19 seconds to go in the third. Sean Peterson, the former running back, looks like he's making that linebacker transition quite well.
Great play by a selfless team first guy. They're excited about him. Number 3 on the left side of the screen, dancing around the running back and just pokes it out. Heads up play to see the football, knock it out and recover it. Sean Peterson changing the momentum for the Panthers, giving them a spark.
That is making a play when your team needs it. It almost felt inevitable that Bryant was going to get another first down. That's all they had done on that drive. 2 third down conversions, 1 on 4th down. Sean Peterson says, not so fast. Grayson James in at QB to take the snap. 19 seconds to go in the third quarter. James. Oh, he almost threw a pick. Lucky to have another chance. That was right at Colin Elliott. Probably was not expecting that.
That was dangerous. FIU trying to set up a little tight end screen to Fairweather. But look at 16 and white. Elliott recognizing it right away, just coming right through the receiver Patterson, who was trying to block him, and he was standing in position looking like he was the intended receiver on the screen. A nice play by Elliott. Couldn't quite hold the pick.
10-point lead for Bryant. James with plenty of space for Chambers to work with before being gang tackled on the far sideline.
Pass is complete to Tyrese Chambers.
McGarity gave Chambers some space there. He didn't want to get beat deep. Chambers does a good job of pushing vertical and then cutting to that out route with lots of space to move the chains.
16-6 will be our score heading into the fourth quarter here at FIU. FIU continues to remember the life of Luke Knox, who passed away 2 weeks ago on August 17th. The Panthers carried Knox's jersey out for today's coin toss and will wear a helmet sticker all season with Knox's number 16. From Brentwood, Tennessee to Ole Miss to FIU, Knox made an impact on so many who had the chance to know him. Luke Knox was 22 years old. Chris Merritt and the Bryant Bulldogs 15 minutes away from a potentially monumental win for their program, transitioning conferences this year in year 4 of the Chris Merritt era up in Rhode Island. But still work to be done in FIU. Trying to start moving the football here. 1st and 10 at the 45. James will hand off. E.J. Wilson straight up the middle. First down, FIU.
Big run for the Panthers. That's the way you want to start a drive. And Ray Burnett, Jacob Peace on the right side of the O-line, doing a nice job to open a big hole. Good vision by Wilson to see it.
Quickly back to the line. Wilson trying to get in that B gap. He got a yard that time. Wilson 6 carries for 20 yards now this evening. And they've tried to play with pace today, but they certainly need to now with efficiency as well.
David Yost puts this offense in the hands of his quarterbacks. He'll make a couple suggestions from the sidelines on play calls, but he wants his QBs getting his team in a good play based upon what he sees in front of him from the defense.
On 2nd and 10, James facing heat. Somehow got out of the first line of pressure. Incompletion, in all likelihood, not the worst thing to happen there for FIU.
You see the athleticism there from James. Nice job just to prevent the negative play. Good shoulder dip there coming around the edge from Dyson. And James somehow escapes the sack there.
No doubt it's 4-down territory as of this juncture for FIU. 3rd and 8 here. Chambers and Bracey on the near side. James goes to Fairweather, hauls it in, shakes a man off him. Fairweather to the races and out to the 20-yard line. There's that talent, speed, and strength that has NFL scouts very interested in Rivaldo Fairweather.
Fairweather was playing with a purpose and an edge on that play. You could tell he wanted it. Good ball placement from James, keeping it away from the defender, and the physicality from Fairweather breaking the tackles.
Screen pass, Chambers dropped it, and it's incomplete. It took a moment for the whistle to come in. And Chambers rarely drops passes, only had 1 or 2 last year.
You certainly don't see that from Tyrese Chambers, very unlike him.
I don't know if there was much to work with, though, even if he had brought that in on the edge. A player down here for Bryant. Just over a minute into the 4th quarter, so still hope for FIU. Down 10 early here in the 4th. The work cut out for him, and relying on a very young player in Grayson James to try to engineer this comeback. He played primarily in mop-up duty last season. Now, when he came in, he was effective. Led a number of touchdown drives. Last year he was 18 for 27 in 6 games played, 162 yards and 1 touchdown pass. Now, this is a situation he has not found himself in yet in his FIU career.
You're right. This is a totally different situation. I mean, last year he was coming in with the Panthers down by 20-plus points, and now he's got to lead a comeback down 10 in the 4th quarter in a brand-new offense, and he's done a nice job so far of moving FIU down the field on this drive.
Had some rave reviews after attending Elite 11 camp over in Texas. Trent Dilfer said he has Power 5 upside. What makes him a sleeper is his intangibles. Getting a look at what he could potentially offer FIU right now. 2nd and 10. There's some movement before the snap.
False start. Offense. Number 78. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's Shamar Habdi-Lee, redshirt sophomore.
To 13 minutes, 39 seconds. The clock will start on the snap. Thank you.
FIU doesn't need to be dealing with moving backwards at the moment.
And those pre-snap penalties can really hurt you in this situation.
Near side, stacked. Another screen to Chambers. This time more to work with. Tackled forward inside the 15-yard line. He's quickly on his feet.
Nice block by Jalen Bracey. Watch 14 in blue, just sealing off his man, giving Chambers a big lane on the outside. The Panthers in position to move the chains.
Another screen to Chambers. Why not? Hesitation, and now he's to the 5-yard line. He keeps working. David Yost will keep dialing it up.
Another nice block from Bracey there. 5'10", 185. Not a huge guy at wideout, but he's playing physical.
Will they do it a 3rd time? They will. Just keep going at Chambers. And he's at the goal line. It's a touchdown. 3 consecutive plays. They all go to Tyrese Chambers. That's how FIU gets their star wide receiver involved.
I love it. If it's working, keep going to it. FIU using the tempo to try to catch Bryant off guard. Just go 3 in a row. Quick screen to Tyrese Chambers, and hats off to Jalen Bracey, doing a nice job of blocking, being selfless, and helping his teammate get in the end zone.
The PAT will make it a 3-point game here. FIU right back in it. Tyrese Chambers getting in the act. It's a 3-point game in Miami. Bryant with the football when we return. Welcome back to FIU Stadium, beautiful Miami, Florida. AJ Ricketts alongside Patrick Murray. All of a sudden, have ourselves a game here late in the stages here. Bryant 16, FIU 13. A 10-play, 69-yard drive, 2 minutes, 17 seconds. And sometimes you'll see offensive coordinators go back to the well for do a play a second time. Same formation, same play, same good result for FIU 3 times there.
Yeah, you have one of the best deep threats in the country in Tyrese Chambers, but yet you score a touchdown by throwing him 3 straight quick screens where he catches the ball behind the line of scrimmage. And the tempo is really what worked well for FIU, going very fast and snapping that ball quick.
Frederick looking for another big return, but he'll be wrapped up inside the 30 here. FIU defense, last possession, showed plenty of vulnerability, but then when they needed to, the big play made. Sean Peterson with the strip. He straight up took it away from Gage Maloney. So let's see what they do here on this possession, as things only get more tense and critical the rest of the way.
And the Panthers have come up with 2 clutch fumbles, one of them right at the goal line, and then the second one by Peterson on FIU's half of the 50. And
we're going to take a look at the last play first.
and we've already had one Bryant player, Chris Eaton, ejected for targeting tonight. We've had another targeting penalty that was overturned, and we'll see what this one was. It wasn't obvious to me during the play. Frederick's the ball carrier.
Seen as of yet, and then Dorian Hall came in there. I don't know, tough to tell.
I don't really see anything there. I think it was Masses that made the initial hit, but I don't think he got his helmet in there. I think it was more the chest that hit Frederick's helmet. Nothing obvious to me there that would indicate targeting.
Looks like they have a decision here.
Personal foul. Targeting. Kicking team. Number 0. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run with the first down. Number 0 is disqualified for the remainder of the contest.
So that's Dorian Hall, who came in after the initial contact. And it was hard to tell from the end zone angle how much impact or force that may have had.
And the officials must have seen from right there on the field a targeting penalty. And so now that occurs, because that occurs in the second half, Hall will have to sit out the first half of FIU's next game at Texas State.
He's FIU's most experienced player. He's the only player on this roster who's been on the team since Butch Davis and company came to FIU in 2017. Byarm on the ground. Nothing doing there.
Panthers doing a better job on the D-line on that play. A couple of guys getting in on a good job of swarming to the football, with Kinsler making the initial hit, and then Bernadelle swarming in and helping to wrap him up.
Second and 9 at the 44. Maloney near sideline. Ruggieri reaching back to it. Flag comes in. Looks like the catch was complete anyway. Says Hezekiah Masses was in coverage. Ruggieri might have another big catch to his tally.
Masses has done a nice job tonight in his first ever college game as a true freshman. He had some really tight coverage on Ruggieri there.
No pass interference, but the completion is there. Ruggieri has his fourth grab.
Nice throw by Maloney. Good placement, and what a catch by Ruggieri. One hand, really good adjustment to that ball. And he's had a good game tonight.
Yorktown Heights native with a big grab. 4 touchdowns last year, 4 starts. And they might take another look at this.
After review, it was determined that was an incomplete pass. Third down.
So after reviewing, they're going to overturn that, and that's a big incompletion. Go back to 2nd and 10.
And the only thing I could see there is he may have already been out of bounds. Ruggieri's back may have been out of bounds when he possessed the ball, before he possessed the ball.
So, excuse me, 3rd and 10 upcoming here at the 44. 12-13 left to go. Thought you could get the football back here with a stop. Been trailing by double digits for much of this half. They've cut it to 3. And it looks like this will be on Bryant. As a guy Masses had to, he almost drew a taunting penalty as his coach went up to give him a word after that too.
Credit this crowd at FIU Stadium. They're still in it. They've stuck around through the rain. And you can feel the momentum starting to flip.
3rd and 14. And another penalty flag on the field. FIU's sideline going nuts. This might make it 3rd and 19. Wow. I tell you what, Bryant has played a terrific game up to this point, but the explosive plays and the penalties have seemingly all gone against the Bulldogs tonight.
The penalties have started to affect Bryant here in this second half. And the FIU crowd is the loudest it's been tonight. They had an impact on that previous play with the false start.
The illegal block at the goal line, the 2 fumbles, one of them at the goal line. Now 2 false starts. It's 3rd and 19. Maloney, can he convert another long 3rd down? It was close, incomplete. Panthers get the stop. Actually, that probably would have been a couple of yards short regardless. FIU's going to get the football back.
Good coverage by Jamal Potts. Bryant had a receiver fall down the field that was open. So Maloney just had to try and force one over the middle. And Potts does a good job of sticking with his receiver and breaking up that play.
Derek Eugene, the intended target. Well, all of a sudden, FIU may have the football with a chance to take the lead. Getman gets the punt away. Averaged 33 yards per punt last year. Chambers takes it, avoided the first level. Got a couple of yards on the return. Always a dynamic threat for FIU. We're starting to see him more involved in things here in the second half. So it's Bryant 16, FIU 13. Bryant took a 9-0 lead in the first quarter and has really controlled the flow of this game since then. But now FIU has an opportunity to take the lead for the first time tonight.
I feel like the forced fumble by Sean Peterson really changed things. He forced the fumble and recovered it himself. FIU has since scored a touchdown and gotten a stop, and now the momentum is on the Panthers' side as they try to complete this comeback. Do they go back to another quick screen to Tyrese Chambers? It's been their last 3 plays.
3 receivers to the near side again. James instead goes deep in a little miscue with Randall St. Felix, who was coming back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, miscommunication there. And in this offense, FIU is going to have some choice routes where the receiver is going to have to read what's going on with the defense on if he wants to continue with a go route or if he wants to stop it. In that case, St. Felix thought he should stop it, and James thought he was going to keep going on the go route.
3 minutes into the fourth quarter. James will hand off. Flex Joseph with 3 yards.
Joseph with the carry. Tackled by James Rayside.
And that puts FIU in a tough third and long situation after the miscommunication on first down and a short run. We'll see if Bryant brings pressure here. They've been blitzing more tonight than they did all of last season.
I haven't seen Holmberg since he came out of the game on that targeting. Quick slants, incomplete. And a late flag from the side judge. Oh, it took a second. That flag came in from the Bryant sideline. Colin Elliott was in coverage. FIU might be bailed out here.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 16.
Yet another penalty going against Bryant here.
A good blitz pickup by the FIU line, and then Elliott with the left arm draped around Miamen gets the call.
James fakes the screen pass. Got away from some trouble. St. Felix through his hands. Let a flag in the backfield. James might have got hit late.
Yeah, it could be a roughing the passer.
Yeah, that's against Bryant. That's their 13th penalty. 101 yards. Penalty yardage for Bryant now.
And the break's really going FIU's way late in this game, especially in terms of penalties. 2 big ones back to back.
It was on Perez. FIU now in Bryant territory. First and 10, James on the slant. Miamen, the tight end, with the grab. First down, Panthers. Moving the chains. Down by 3, 4 minutes into the fourth quarter.
Good play action pass there. Draws the linebackers up. Watch him come up to play the run and then slip it to Miamen right behind those backers. Nice play by the Panthers.
Miamen has impressed in fall camp. Rivaldo Fairweather getting a lot of headlines, deservedly so, with what he's done in his FIU career, but Panthers may have some depth at that position moving forward. James will hand off. Here's E.J. Wilson. Good yardage on first down for Wilson. Averaging 3.5 yards per carry tonight. Hasn't been able to bust a big gain as of yet. Sets FIU up well here. Lake Ellis the tackle. Panthers quickly to the line. James will hand off once more. Wilson cuts back. He has space. Wilson tackled inside the red zone. Nearly broke that one loose. Panthers gaining ground.
FIU's got to keep the foot on the gas. Keep going tempo. They just ran the same play twice in a row, back to back. Bryant's wearing down. The O-line's starting to get a push.
Wilson again. Tried to counter once more. Couldn't find the edge that time. And talking with the Bryant coaching staff, this is where they were a little concerned late in the game. Depth starts to become a factor. Warren has confident in that second unit or so, or playing with tempo the entire game and how effective they could be towards the end.
Bryant is coming out of a conference in the Northeast Conference where you can only have 45 scholarship players, whereas FIU is allowed to have 85 scholarship players. That's where that depth shows up.
James looking near side towards Chris Mitchell. Touchdown, FIU. The Panthers have their first lead of the night.
What a throw from Grayson James. Putting that ball where only his receiver could get it, and Chris Mitchell with the vertical leap to go up and get it. Good placement, keeping it away from the defender and going up, catching it at the highest point of his jump. Nice play from Chris Mitchell. And what a comeback for the Panthers behind sophomore quarterback Grayson James.
Second touchdown of Chris Mitchell's career, and how about Grayson James coming in here and leading 2 touchdown drives. PAT is good. FIU on top, 20-16. Now the job for the defense once more. Well, this has turned into quite a game here in the fourth quarter. Bryant, at one point in this game, their ESPN win probability, I think, had them at 68%. All of a sudden, the Panthers up 4. How have FIU been able to turn this around in a quick time span, all things considered, with how long they'd struggled in this game?
The Panther defense has stepped up with 2 really big fumble recoveries, and then the offense has done a good job with the tempo, putting the pedal to the metal, going as fast as they can, getting the ball snapped quickly, and that has worn down the Bryant defense and given FIU the advantage.
Byarm, the lone man, back to receive. He'll take it at the 4. Got 3 blockers in front of him. Angles towards the near sideline, shoved out around the 26. It was a much more confident-looking bunch defensively for FIU on that last drive.
You can tell the body language is just different for this whole FIU team. They're having fun now. Early in the game, they were trying to get the jitters out, trying to figure things out with a brand new coaching staff and a lot of new players. You get down, you start to worry a little bit, but then you make a couple plays and you start to have fun, and now the Panthers are having fun and playing better.
Bryant, though, if you told them this would be the score at this stage of the game, I think a lot of folks on that side would take that and say, game on, let's go. 4-point game in the fourth. Here's the keeper from Eckhouse, who took a lick after getting a couple of yards on first down. Eckhouse and Maloney been alternating all game long. Seen some great things from both of them. They're combined 22 for 30 for 250 yards.
And it seems like Eckhouse has given Bryant some more big plays. Both quarterbacks have played really well, but Eckhouse seems like more of the electric guy to me that can give you a big play when you need it in this situation.
He's 11 for 12 today, 144 yards. Eckhouse has to step up here, though. Flicks it forward, complete across midfield. What a play. Prochazka hauling it in. You've seen Eckhouse able to extend the play.
A really nice play on both sides. Eckhouse stepping up in the pocket, does a really good job of keeping his eyes downfield, and then a nice catch by Prochazka, backpedaling and making the grab.
This game far from over. Prochazka, the senior from California. First time we've called his name today. Eckhouse facing pressure from Christian, made a miss. Is at his feet. The throw was low. We have a flag coming in from about 20 yards away.
Yeah, I really like the way Javon DeWitt has been aggressive with bringing these pressures in the second half. It kind of blew up the play and made it.
I'm going to tag Adrian Cole with the hold, saying that's the reason why that throw was short, was because Cole was in the way of David Zarilla on the far side.
Yeah, I thought Eckhouse was just throwing that away and getting away from the pressure, but it seems like Cole was holding up the intended receiver in Zarilla.
Eckhouse fumbled the snap, and Eckhouse taken off. Inside the red zone, a broken play. Bryant will take it. They feel it's their time to deserve a break or two.
The sophomore QB Eckhouse just making something out of nothing. A good decision after the bobbled snap, dropping it, just take it yourself. Good decision there. And he somehow finds a seam and makes a big play.
Both Nobles and Christian forced him inside, and he found a blocker to help on that lane. He was off to the races. 1st and 10 at the 17. Zevi Eckhouse lead a go-ahead drive. Coming towards his near side, flicks it towards the end zone, intercepted! But a flag thrown moments after. This one might be coming back. Masses thought he had the pick. But he is whistled for pass interference. And Bryant's will get another crack at it.
I think that's the right call. Masses has played so tough tonight in his first ever collegiate game, but
Prior to the interception, pass interference, defense, number 12, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Tough break for Masses, who's had some nice plays today. Thought he had his first FIU interception. Not that time. And Bryant moves closer to the goal line here. How about this drive from the Bulldogs after FIU had seized the momentum?
it's been a great answer by an experienced Bryant team to keep fighting.
Eckhouse, slant route, broken up. CJ Christian swatting his hand. 2nd down.
Pass is incomplete.
These young DBs for FIU have stepped up and made some plays, and a little pressure from Jamal Potts coming off the edge. Perhaps made that ball a little more inaccurate from Eckhouse.
This offensive line has been such good push today. You wonder if it's the situation. Give off to Sanowski, let him try to follow his veteran, experienced blockers. Eckhouse, he'll give it to him here. Sanowski at the goal line, no signal yet. He may be a half-yard short.
Sohanowski on the
3rd and goal.
And Bryant's offensive line has done a nice job all night long of getting that push down here in the goal line. And FIU somehow just was able to squeeze down that gap that looked like it was open. A good play by Nobles.
The biggest plays of the game coming up right here. 3rd and goal at the half-yard line. Eckhouse will try to follow his offensive line. Eckhouse
To use the physicality and shoulder his way over the line.
One PAT has been blocked today, not that one. Bryant up a field goal, 23-20, 6.5 to play. Can Grayson James lead another touchdown drive? Drama in the 4th quarter. Bryant and FIU, a field goal game after a 6-play, 73-yard drive that took 2:56 to get downfield. And the Bulldogs once more on top, 23-20. And they're going to force Grayson James, FIU sophomore, to drive his team down the field a 3rd time. Try to put his team in front. What a game this has turned into. As Getman will send it away. High arcing kick. Flex Joseph takes it at the 5. Joseph has a lane. Cuts back towards the hashes and tripped up at the 40. Great return from Flex Joseph, who was all conference on special teams 2 seasons ago. He sets up FIU in good field position.
That's a big play by this special teams unit and Joseph to give FIU really good field position. He's just fearless, flying up the field full speed, gets a couple nice blocks out in front, and makes it a little bit easier for Grayson James in the offense.
That is huge to be a 1st down away from midfield. This young FIU offense. So many of them their first year wearing the blue and gold. James trying to get a dump off pass to Joseph's got a couple blockers in front of him. Joseph across midfield, 1st down for the Panthers.
Nice play call there, catching Bryant in the pressure. No one saw that screen coming. All the D-line flying up the field, and FIU is able to break out 3 offensive linemen to block out front.
Another quick snap. Joseph, it's about 4 yards on the play. Sometimes these games against FCS teams or these FBS programs, just survive it, get through it. Still great things can happen. 2017, FIU had to score with 2 minutes left to beat Alcorn State. Went on to have, of course, 8 wins and a bowl game appearance.
You see it happen all the time.
2nd and 7. James. Joseph gobbled up at the line of scrimmage there.
Pass is complete to Joseph.
Well, FIU scored the first touchdown
Tackled by Ryan Sadler.
on that play with Joseph, and since then, Ryan Sadler said, "You're not beating me with that play again." And anytime he's seen Joseph angle out of the backfield like that, he has taken off and cut that play off.
It looks like Fairweather had the size mismatch on that play, matched up against the smaller safety. James couldn't find him. It's 3rd and 7. Under 5 minutes to play. James will keep it. Wilson serving as a blocker. Bryant was up to task. Only back to the line of scrimmage, and now a huge pressure play upcoming for this FIU offense. I wonder if David Yost was trying to get 3 or 4 yards on that play to make the 4th down call a little easier. Now FIU needs to execute.
Yeah, I think that's probably the plan, was the plan, and now that this becomes a huge play for the Panthers.
4.5 minutes to go. Chambers, the lone receiver on the near side. James has to get it off. He'll fire downfield. Mitchell by himself. Touchdown! FIU! On 4th down, a miraculous play for the Panthers.
Really nice play by Grayson James of continuing to extend the play, not settling for a short pass that he knew would not move the chains. Flushed out of the pocket. He could have gone to Chambers there, but they're not getting the 1st down. Good job by James to keep his eyes down the field. Eventually finds Mitchell. And another huge play for Mitchell tonight. 2 touchdowns here in the 4th quarter, both giving FIU the lead.
PAT. It's good. Chris Mitchell has more touchdowns in the 4th quarter than he'd had in his entire FIU career up until this point. Talk about a breakout performance, and his team needed it. 4:08 left to play. So bouncing around here a little bit. And the Panthers up once more. How about this 4th quarter?
It's been a tremendous 4th quarter for FIU, and Bryant hasn't gone away. They haven't lied down. Defense is wearing down a little bit, but this Bulldog offense, is, like we just saw in the previous drive, certainly capable of going down the field and taking the lead back. But how big does that blocked extra point by Hezekiah Massis early in the game look now? Because FIU's up 4, and if he hadn't blocked that extra point, it's a 3-point game, and Bryant can tie it with a field goal. So that could end up being a huge play in this game.
5-play, 60-yard drive. Took just over 2 minutes. Is this the Grayson James breakout party? 11 for 20, 155 yards. He's made a statement here in 3 clutch drives.
Yeah, I think you got to roll with him from here on out. We don't know the health situation of Gunnar Holmberg, but James has looked really good at leading this 4th quarter comeback.
And yet Bryant still with plenty of time. You saw how quickly they went down the field on their last drive. Frederick with that hand up. And that'll take him out to the 25. Back and forth we go. It's been an explosive 4th quarter. FIU outscoring Bryant's here in the 4th, 21-7. After scoring 6 points the first 3 quarters, FIU's offense has hit its rhythm. Now once more, the defense will have to make a stand if they'll slow down this Bryant team that's still in a terrific position to earn an upset right now.
And Eckhouse and James just dueling back and forth here. Eckhouse made some big plays in the previous drive, had one with his legs on a broken play. It's we're almost in a situation here where whoever has the ball last may end up winning this game.
It has turned into a back and forth affair. How much fun is this? Eckhouse to the hashes. 5-yard gain on first down.
And that's what FIU is going to have to do, is make Bryant continue to beat them with those short passes. Don't give them a big play. Make them continue to beat you over and over again with the short passes and force them into a mistake at some point in the drive.
Prochaska with the reception. That's his second. 3.5 minutes to play. Eckhouse, Strickland's coming. Have to get it out before taking the sack. 3rd down and 5 upcoming. And again, Bryant needs a touchdown.
A good coverage by FIU at the bottom of the screen. That allowed Strickland enough time to get through his blocker and put the pressure on Eckhouse.
Bryant 8 for 15 on 3rd downs tonight. Biggest one thus far. Eckhouse. Kinsler's coming. He steps up. Eckhouse has a first down to midfield. And he keeps the drive going. Boy, this kid, Mike McIntyre noted it during the week. He said this kid plays with moxie. He has a swagger about him. He plays like he's having fun every drive, and what a play here.
A nice play by Eckhouse, but I think the officials may have missed a hold on the outside there. Latari Kinsler just had his arm grabbed by the left tackle. I think the officials missed that one, but nevertheless, a great play by Eckhouse.
Eckhouse looking near side, has some space for Zerillo, who evades Adrian Cole to get a couple of extra yards. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Now, this has been a really fun 4th quarter, just watching these two sophomore quarterbacks go back and forth. They've been poised. Eckhouse has done a good job of not forcing anything, just taking those quick short passes when they're there.
Just over 2 minutes to play now. Panthers up 4. Eckhouse across the middle. That's incomplete. Demetrius Hill was there to make sure. Prochaska couldn't hold on to that one. Another 3rd and 4 play upcoming. It was 3rd and 5 last time. So similar situation here for the Bulldogs.
And they're going to have to go for it on 4th down if they don't get it here. Only 2 timeouts left for Bryant. So this is a situation where even if they can't move the chains, just get what they can and try to make the 4th down more manageable.
This is where they would love to have Powell in the game, but remember, he had to leave with an injury last quarter. Eckhouse rolling left, floats it over the top. It's caught by Zerillo, and he spins forward for a 1st down. Well-designed play, and Bryant keeps the chains moving.
Yeah, just a little pick play with Frederick coming from outside to inside, Zerillo going inside out. Frederick sets the pick for Zerillo, and he's wide open in the flat to move the chains.
3rd down success has been huge for Bryant over the course of this one. It's no different on this drive. 1st and 10 at the 43, under 2 minutes to play. Will this be the final offensive possession? Bryant moving down the field, 6 plays, 32 yards. Eckhouse taking a shot near side. Caught inside the 15. Here comes Bryant. It's Prochaska, another catch.
Really nice throw from Eckhouse. He had to put enough touch on that one to get it over the top, but enough zip on it to get it in before the middle of the field safety Hill could get there. Fits it right in there, and a nice catch from Prochaska too.
Who will make the winning plays in the final 75 seconds of this one? A young FIU defense. An experienced FCS team in Bryant. Chris Merritt is back where he spent so much time in South Florida. 1 minute ago, Eckhouse into the flat. Byarm with it. Cuts inside. Byarm still on his feet. Brought down at the 5. Still 2 timeouts to work with. There's all sorts of time for Bryant to navigate and how they want to do this. They're going And he let the clock keep ticking, and now time will be called.
And I was going to say, FIU might want to think about using some timeouts to make sure they have enough time on the clock for a comeback if Bryant were to score here.
Ball at the 5-yard line. Second down and about 2 yards. What a situation this has turned into. 48 seconds left. A couple timeouts to work with. If you're Coach Merritt with Bryant, what's your approach here in this situation?
Well, you have the 2 timeouts, and you still have 53 seconds left, so I think you could put the ball on the ground if you wanted to, especially in a second and short situation. You can still get a first down, briefly stop the clock in that situation. So the offensive line's been good for Bryant tonight down near the goal line. I think you can keep it on the ground with your tough runner in Byarm to start with.
He's the tailback here. They put 53 seconds on the clock. 2 timeouts for both sides. 2nd and 3. Eckhouse will give off to Byarm to the goal line. No signal yet. They're going to call him down to the half-yard line.
That was close. I thought he got in.
Still, if you're Bryant, you have to love this situation. This is essentially where they were last quarter.
Well, it's really tough to tell. I don't think there's going to be enough evidence to overturn that. It's a bang-bang play on if his knee is down before the ball crosses the goal line. But to your point, AJ, still 46 seconds left and 2 timeouts for Bryant at the 1-yard line, inside the 1-yard line if it's not overturned. This is exactly where the Bulldogs want to be with a chance to win this game.
Well, it's interesting. FIU called a timeout there, so that almost is implying their philosophy here is to try to make the goal line stand. Rather, you see some teams now, hey, just pretend like you're trying, but let them in the end zone. Have those 2 timeouts, 3 timeouts, and a little more time to work with offensively. It looks like FIU is electing to, hey, we're going to try to make the goal line stop here with our guys up front.
And I like that. I like being aggressive and trusting your defense, putting your trust in your players. Let them try and make that stop. Let somebody make a play. Don't just give up. Don't just let them score. You got to try to make this stop. That's your best chance to win this game.
What a game for head coach Mike McIntyre in his first game at the helm of the FIU program. He turned things around at Colorado. Took him to the Pac-12 championship game and a top 10 ranking, in the Pac-12. San Jose State had them in the top 25 at their peak. He has intentions of doing the same thing here, but he has his work cut out for him in the final 46 seconds right now against the Bryant Bulldogs. The coach and Chris Merritt, who has had plenty of success in South Florida, we noted he took Columbus High School, the Explorers, to the state championship game in 2018. He said it was never really his intention to spend so long in South Florida, but all of a sudden it had been 18 plus years. He spent some time overseas in Germany as a coach and player after college to Indiana. So he said coaching in South Florida, he make a lot of college contacts, and that eventually helped him make that transition to Bryant. For the 18 years he spent in Miami, he said Bryant is now home. Where he nearly spent 2 decades, could pick up a huge win with another yard or 2 here. Pre-snap motion. Eckhouse gives off to Byarm. He's across the goal line. Bryant, touchdown. Bulldogs take the lead. They're 43 seconds away from an upset.
Wow, what a night for the Bryant Bulldogs. And Byarm has been such a tough runner all night long. He does it again there. Good vision to see the cutback lane just lower in the shoulder, knowing he only needs a few feet to get to that goal line. Another tough run from Byarm. And the Bulldogs are real close to perhaps the biggest victory in program history.
He had the first touchdown of the game. He has the most recent and most important one as well.
Kick is good. Penalty mark flag.
FIU is early off the edge, but this will be declined. The Panthers could certainly use another good return from Flex Joseph or E.J. Wilson. That would help the endeavor again. Well, FIU will only need 3 points here.
Offside. Defense. Number 12. That penalty declined. Result of the try is good.
So they'll be relying on potentially, if they can get in field goal range, Chase Gabriel.
And it's certainly possible for FIU. They still have a timeout left, 43 seconds. Clock stops if you go out of bounds. Clock stops briefly to move the chains after a first down. And we know FIU operates the tempo offense well. They can go quick.
.43 seconds, 1 timeout. What can FIU do on the return here? You think surely Bryant wouldn't go for onside.
That would be the gutsiest move ever.
They've lined up like that every time. This one's going to go near side to Flex Joseph. And he'll let it sail into the end zone, keep the extra seconds. FIU will set up at the 25.
Now here's the thing here. Everyone knows that FIU would like to go deep to Tyrese Chambers in this situation, but Bryant's not going to give you that. They've shown all game long they've done a good job, for the most part, of taking away that deep ball, putting a cap on the offense. And so Grayson James is going to have to be very poised and pick apart this defense little by little, taking those underneath throws and trying to either get out of bounds or get a first down on every play.
Grayson James, 11 for 20, 155 yards and 3 touchdown passes today. FIU needs about 40 yards and 40 seconds to get in field goal range for Chase Gabriel. First play of the drive. James goes near side, and Wilson wasn't ready for it.
Pass is incomplete.
Hopefully not too much time off the clock here, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, FIU's gone to that play multiple times, and it hasn't worked the last few times, but you got to flush that one and just quickly move on to the next play.
30-27, 41 seconds left. Low snap to James. Backpedaling. He has to throw it out of bounds. Bryant holds on the first 2 plays of the drive.
And that's the right decision by James there. Bryant had good coverage, and the pressure was right there. And we've seen the athleticism from James in this second half of being able to escape pressure. And that's been a big part of the FIU comeback.
35 seconds to work with now. Just that 1 timeout. James has a better pocket here now. He has to scramble. Goes through the middle, off the fingers of Mitchell, and it's going to come down to a 4th down and 10 play here in Miami.
Well, FIU tried to go to E.J. Wilson out of the backfield again with a little pick on Ryan Sadler, the middle linebacker, but Sadler did a fantastic job of recognizing it and sprinting out there and getting underneath Wilson. James wanted to throw it there. He couldn't, and then had to throw it away.
This is the ball game here. 4th and 10 at their own 25. Bryant 1 play away from the upset. James steps up. Across the middle, Fournier. Oh, it's popped out, and a flag comes in. This may be targeting, and FIU may still have hope. Ross Fournier took a hit and is slow to get up. Wow.
Chris Yates had him lined up and delivered a devastating blow. And I think he recognizes now that he didn't have to do that. Let's take a look here and see if this is targeting. Lowering the helmet right into the helmet. That's targeting.
Like it. And it looked like Fournier was going to hold on to that one until, the helmet contact.
Fournier had it. He's pulling it in. And I think Yates knows that he maybe wishes he used a little bit less physicality and just tried to go for the football with his hand and break it up instead of going for the kill shot.
So they're taking a look at this, of course. Every targeting penalty reviewed. If this is upheld, FIU will snap it from the 40.
And we've seen a lot of them tonight. This would be number 3 if this one is upheld. 3 targeting penalties, 3 ejections.
So the Panthers will need about 25 more yards with 23 seconds to work with. How about that throw from James, though, on the run, finds a way to put it in an area where Fournier could do something with it.
A great play by both players in the scramble drill. James, again, doing a really nice job of escaping the pressure while keeping his eyes downfield. And Fournier did a nice job of recognizing.
Confirming it there. First down for FIU at the 40.
The targeting confirmed. Yates ejected. First down FIU, and Fournier did a nice job there of recognizing that James was in trouble and running to find some open space.
How about Ross Fournier's story? A walk-on, just earned a scholarship, in on the biggest play for FIU. Takes the hit, keeps FIU alive. First and 10 at the 40. Can Bryant hold on? James. Far side. Meehan makes the catch, turns and gets 5 more yards down to the 40. FIU closing in on field goal range here with 17 seconds to go.
Those out routes, short and intermediate out routes, have been there for FIU all night. Really nice throw from James, right on the money.
James again. Similar area, too far from Meehan this time. 13 ticks left on the clock.
It basically went back to the same play, to the short side of the field. Didn't have as much room to work with.
Ball at the 42. 13 seconds, 2nd and 10. Chambers alone on the near side. Timeout, Bryant. 30-27 with 13 seconds left. FIU stacked that far sideline. 3 receivers. Chris Merritt and company wanted to talk about it. They take their second timeout.
Yeah, you got to think that's what FIU wanted to exploit there. Going with those 3 receivers to the top of the screen, putting the formation into the boundary, seeing what Bryant will do. Do they want to cover all that open grass down to the bottom of the screen, or they want to cover all those receivers on the short side of the field? And it looked like they were going to give him that one-on-one matchup with Tyrese Chambers. And so if FIU gets that look again, I think that's where they're going. But Chris Merritt calling timeout. Bryant may want to change up its look on the way they respond if they see that formation again.
James now 12 for 24. Look at the FIU receiving corps today. Chambers leads the group with 6 catches for 68 yards. Meehan now with 4 receptions.
Same formation for FIU. Chambers at the bottom of the screen. On any out-breaking route, he's going to be one-on-one.
Do the Panthers go to their playmaker? 2nd down. James has a pocket. Here's Chambers, makes the catch, turns and knocked out a play at the 30. FIU in field goal range here. 8 seconds left. Interesting decision now. Do you take a shot to the end zone or just try to get a couple more yards for Chase Gabriel?
Tough decision, but I think you got to play for the field goal here with only 8 seconds left. Try to get another one of those intermediate out routes, and you're in good range.
Can't take a sack. James goes to Chris Mitchell on the far side. He makes the catch. Mitchell still on his feet, but then shoved out inside the 10 with less than 3 seconds to play, and this should make it much more manageable for Chase Gabriel, who will have the biggest kick of his FIU career. 8 for 13 last season, had a long of 53. Could be inconsistent at times, missed some extra points over the course of the season. But right here, a 29-yard field goal from the right hash to send the game to overtime. Bryant calls timeout. Gabriel snuck it in the upright. Well, that's what you do in these situations. If you're the defense, take that final TO.
Got to ice the kicker, make him think about it a little bit longer.
Gabriel got a practice rep in, though.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. You know,
the trade-off.
It goes both ways. You give them a chance to practice, and some kickers will tell you they'd rather have that. They'd rather have the practice kick instead of having to go out there basically cold. But Chase Gabriel just has to clear his mind.
You mentioned that state playoff game when he was at Glenn Academy up in Georgia. Had 3 field goals over 50 yards. Also scored a touchdown on a trick play in that game. All they need him to do here is a 29-yard field goal from the right hash. Made his practice kick. Here we go. From 29 yards, Gabriel. Butter. Overtime in Miami.
Wow, what a game. Big comeback from FIU. I love the poise and the accuracy from Grayson James on that last drive, hitting 3 intermediate out routes. Those are long throws. Those are not easy throws. He was putting them on the money. Caught FIU into field goal range, and Chase Gabriel, nice job to tie it up.
30 all overtime when we return. What a game here on ESPN3. Welcome back to ESPN3 and our presentation of college football tonight from Miami. It's Bryant and FIU. To overtime we go after Grayson James of FIU engineering yet another drive down the field. moxie down the stretch here. Taking a look at the toss to see who will get the chance to claim playing defense first. A.J. Ricketts, Patrick Murray. This has been a lot of fun. Of course, a much tighter contest than any FIU fan would prefer to play today, but ultimately a chance to still come out of here with a win.
It's been a heck of a game. I mean, Bryant came in here and played really tough, took the lead early on, but what a comeback from FIU, and hats off to Grayson James. Came in off the bench at quarterback. The sophomore has played really well, leading an FIU comeback in the fourth quarter.
Every drive he had in the fourth quarter, a successful one. 203 passing yards, and again, you hope Gunnar Holmberg is okay moving forward. Took a tough shot as a result of that targeting earlier in the game. He's someone who's fought through injuries in his career, particularly up at Duke before he won the starting role last year. Received nothing but praise from former Duke head coach David Cutcliffe as he made the transition. Said, "I'm praying to God he has a great career at FIU." Right now it's Grayson James who has helped lead this comeback. And right now it's Bryant who will try to score first in overtime. Zevi Eckhouse, first play. Eckhouse, touchdown shot, far side. Frederick, did he bring it in? Anthony Frederick with a touchdown for Bryant on the first play of overtime. Are you kidding?
I love the play call, being aggressive, taking a shot on the first play of OT. A nice play to get that foot in, good body control from Frederick to keep the foot in bounds, and a really nice throw from Eckhouse. Puts just enough touch on it to get it over the defender.
Former Miami Central product. Bryant wasting no time. EAT sneaks inside the right upright. Just like that, the pressure right back on Grayson James and this FIU offense.
Well, if you're FIU, you at least know what you need. You know you're going for it on fourth down. You know you got to put it in the end zone. And you're hot. 24 points in the fourth quarter for the Panthers offense. See if James can keep the magic going.
Odds have been stacked against him in this game already. Again, that last drive, which FIU finished with a 29-yard field goal from Chase Gabriel. It started on their own 25-yard line with 48 seconds to work with. Right here, time is not a factor. But remember, Bryant had forced the 4th and 10 to start that drive. Here we go. James in the gun. His first snap will go to E.J. Wilson on the far side. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Ryan Sadler, 2nd and 11.
Sadler has done a really nice job at the end of this game of recognizing FIU wanting to go to the running back out of the backfield on those quick hitters, and he's flying out there and making the play.
On out the 26, James. Low. Chambers had some space around him. One of the few mistakes James has made since the fourth quarter began. 3rd and 11 here.
Yeah, James had some room there. He had the angle and just kind of short-armed it. Now he's got a big 3rd and long.
Bryant faithful in attendance, trying to make some noise. James, home run shot to Chambers. Incomplete and a flag. Chambers so dangerous in those one-on-one opportunities. One-on-one shots on the near side and a PI coming for Bryant.
Number 18, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That is a tough break for Braden Sales.
I say it all the time, 50-50 balls with Tyrese Chambers are more like 70-30 balls in his favor. So I like that idea, giving him a shot to make a play, and he draws the penalty.
They have found a way to get him involved in the later stages of this game. I'm trying to figure out, I think, the spots, and if this is a 1st and 10 at the 11 or a 1st and goal to 10. If it's a 15-yard penalty and it's at the 26, technically FIU can still get a first down here with the line of scrimmage being at the 11. Chambers now lined up as the receiver furthest to the far side. James will hand off to Wilson, cuts back inside the 5 and spun forward. Wilson kept going. Panthers saying they have a touchdown. Refs saying it's at the 1 or 2 yard line.
Really good balance from Wilson to stay on his feet. Finds the cutback lane under the block from Fairweather. And he looked like he did stay on his feet there as he spun off of that tackle. But he may not have still gotten into the end zone anyway.
So say he's down at the 2, so it's technically 2nd and 1. James will give to Wilson once more. He lost yardage here. That right side of the line of scrimmage broke down. Now third and 3 or so to go. And Andreessen with the tackle. That's not what FIU was going for.
Yeah, the D-line getting some penetration there for Bryant. They stepped up tonight at various times, especially early in the game.
Now they're stacking the box here. Wilson will line up to the left of James now. 3rd down. James to Chambers. Incomplete again, and another flag. Blake Ellis has been sensational all game long, but Chambers just such a tough matchup.
And you see this happen all the time in college football. On an underthrown ball, when the receiver comes back to it, a lot of times the defender ends up getting called for pass interference because he's in the way and obviously interfering with the receiver getting back to the ball.
Of course, an automatic first down. The officials take some time to talk about it, though. They're going to pick up the flag. Wow, and that changes things here. Now Bryant back to a 4th down and a chance to win the game.
Yeah, that's a big swing.
Mike McIntyre is livid on the near sideline. Panthers do have a timeout if they want to talk about it. Here we go. Nope, not yet. Bryant will call timeout first.
Timeout, Bryant. The first and final timeout of the overtime.
This is not reviewable either. That's a huge turn of events. We saw the replay there. It certainly looked like Chambers' progress back to the football was negated. Nevertheless, FIU needs 5 yards right here.
This is the game. We've said that tonight. FIU faced a 4th and 10. With less than a minute left in the 4th quarter. Grayson James found a way to make a play. He's going to have to find a way here. And who does FIU go to? Do they want to try to go to Chambers again in another one-on-one situation, throw it up and let him make a play or let him draw a penalty? Or do they come up with something else? Is it some type of pick play? We've seen the quick screen to Chambers work really well for FIU in this area of the field too.
Chris Mitchell has a pair of touchdowns. 5 long yards right now for FIU. Bryant, once again, can sense this upset on the road. They had FIU down to a 4th and 10 in the Panthers' own territory. FIU found a way to extend the game from that juncture. Down to the wire once more. 4th down. James in the gun. Looks near side. They're going to Chambers. He makes the catch! Tyrese Chambers, touchdown FIU! Who else would you go to?
When you need a play, go to your biggest playmaker. That is absolutely Tyrese Chambers for FIU. He gets a good release off the line of the scrimmage to create that separation and good adjustment to make the grab. Tyrese Chambers stepping up when the Panthers need him the most.
Mike McIntyre will call the offense over.
FIU, first and final timeout.
He'll take a timeout here, and you wonder,
Is he gonna go
is
for
he-
two?
Is he drawing something up here? You didn't see Chase Gabriel come on for the PAT. Maybe some more drama to come here on this very next play. Wow. Tyrese Chambers.
The new rules, once you get to the second overtime, you have to go for two after a touchdown. So maybe McIntyre's saying, hey, we have a chance to win the game here. Let's try and do it. We'll see what they decide.
David Yost, FIU offensive coordinator, deciding to win or lose with his best player. Chambers got single coverage and another terrific ball thrown from Grayson James. 4 touchdowns, and it's all come late in the game. And the offense back on the field. This will decide it. FIU going for 2 in the win. 37-36 here in overtime. James in an empty backfield. This will be the final play of the game. James has the snap. Near side, Wilson held on. FIU wins the game. Wilson brings it in, and the Panthers come back and defeat Bryant in a thriller.
What a gutsy call from Mike McIntyre. I love it. His first game at FIU. He's losing in overtime to an FCS team, and he says, guys, we're going for 2. Let's go and get this win. And I like the play call from David Yost, too. You had Chambers one-on-one on the outside. You essentially use him as a decoy. Get your running back out of the backfield with a good matchup. What a win for the Panthers.
Mike McIntyre decided to go for it, and FIU is rewarded with a thrilling 38-37 victory in overtime to earn Coach Mack his first victory at the helm of FIU. And boy, did the Panthers have to sweat this one out against a determined, talented, and veteran Bryant Bulldogs squad that looks like they will have some success in their first year in the Big South this season. But ultimately tonight, just not enough against Grayson James, who had his coming out party in Miami tonight.
Grayson James, the sophomore, coming off the bench, leading a fourth quarter comeback in his first real action for FIU outside of mop-up time last year. He was really impressive, especially on that final drive of the fourth quarter, leading FIU down the field to force overtime.
Grayson James, 16 for 31 tonight, 207 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's got to be your player of the game. And look, there's a lot of players for FIU made critical contributions today. Yeah, Chambers, the touchdown catch there in overtime on 4th down. Grayson James, the 4th and 10 lob to Ross Fournette, who drew the personal foul on the targeting. FIU had to earn it today against Bryant. But you look at the final line, Grayson James helps put a lot of his teammates in good position today. It's going to be fascinating to hear his thoughts, Coach McIntyre's thoughts in just a few minutes. FIU found a way against the FCS team to find a win today.
And that's what you have to take away from it. Snapping an 11-game losing streak, FIU needed a win in the worst way, and this is a fun way to get it. They had to sweat it out for a while. It wasn't pretty, but a tremendous comeback, and that's going to make this team closer as the season goes on, going through some adversity together tonight and coming out of it on top.
The on the road to take on Texas State next weekend for FIU before a tough conference matchup looms with Western Kentucky on the road as well. Panthers won't be back home for a month. Homecoming, the next home matchup against UConn. They'll be in better spirits throughout practice this week. You see the jubilation that comes with a victory. There have been tough times here in South Florida for this team over the past year or two. 16 of the last 17 have ended up with a loss. But tonight, they'll go to the locker room and back home in good spirits. 38-37, your final score here from Miami. This has been a fun one tonight. For my partner, Patrick Murray, I'm AJ Ricketts. Your final score, FIU 38, Bryant 37. This has been a presentation of ESPN. To watch a replay of this game as well as an archive of many others, head over to watchespn.com. Mike McIntyre has his first win at FIU.